post show.
Post show. We did the show
Post
already.
show.
I'm sorry. You're right. Like, it was excellent to have you on these past few weeks.
I'm so sad I'm not going to be here anymore. Bye, guys.
Bye. The pre-show. Welcome to the trophy room pre-show.
Apologies that we were a little late. We got caught up just talking about horror movies and whatnot.
Yep.
We're warming up ourselves, and we have a
It
new
was my
mission.
bad, guys.
No, it's totally okay. We have a new mission. We need to find this movie that Light saw with creepy background images that you can't remember, and everyone's gaslighting you, saying it's not a real thing.
Yeah.
We got to figure this out.
So
So anyone in chat, if you know any movies from the year, let's say 2005 to 2012, with like hidden figures in the backgrounds, it's a horror movie.
Yep.
Let us know.
The horror movies with shadow demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already
Horror
said
movie, shadow
Insidious. And you said it's pretty sure it's not Insidious.
I don't think so. Let me look up right now.
So
What's up, Loose Lemons? Ooh, what a phonetically perfect name.
That's my friend Kristen. Hey.
Hello, Kristen.
Welcome.
What a phonetically perfect name. You should change your legal name to Loose Lemons. Is that I could say it all night. Loose Lemons.
No, definitely wasn't Insidious because that's the tiptoe through the window. That's that one, right?
Ooh,
I don't know. I haven't seen it personally.
Yep.
Also, those are not the words of the song, but I just made those up.
Well, but I got it because it's like the really high pitched voice from
The tune, I
SpongeBob.
hate it. It gives me nightmares.
Yeah, with the guy that looks like Darth Maul. Everybody's afraid of him, but not me. He looks like Darth Maul.
Chat, if you're new to the
Star Wars?
pre-show, we usually warm up, try to guess the game here. So if anyone has a guess, put it in chat and we'll see if we can find it. I literally have 0 ideas.
The well looks World of Warcraft-ish,
Okay.
but the confetti does not.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So here's a question. Is that confetti or is that just a red piece of paper on this tree? And it just looks weird.
I took that as ground with grass and a crack.
Could be.
That's good. Old school Fable's not a bad one.
Let's go
Jonathan.
Fable.
But like the World of Warcraft's also a good pick.
It's not Fable.
Which I saw they added.
Not WoW either.
Damn it.
87.
87. Huh. This does look interesting. Oh, I'm real rusty at this. I don't have any like excuse of like, oh, I'm doing the show. I got everything cooked up here.
PSP?
Oh, Joan d'Arc, perhaps?
Really? Well, you played that, didn't you? When it came to PS Plus this year?
I did.
What
a little bit.
What is
not,
it called?
I think it's like Joan, it's like Joan of Arc, but it's spelled weird. It's like Joan d'Arc.
Where's my apostrophe?
There it is.
Oh, Joe! Look at you!
Did I get it?
Oh, you got it!
Hey, look at me. I'm back. I'm back. And
You're
I'm
like,
better than
I'm
ever.
rusty. Immediately knocks it out of the
I am.
park.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't like to brag, but alas, here I am.
Come on, internet. Yeah, everyone, fingers crossed, cross everything. Make sure my internet doesn't die like last week.
Oh,
it didn't die.
Buddy.
It just took a dramatic pause.
I like the way you reword everything and recontextualize it in my brain.
That's right.
All right.
Okay, what is?
Is that some sort of like magic bubble?
Yeah, I
like
was
the
thinking,
edge of a magic spell.
What in the J.J. Abrams is going on over here?
Something.
Loose Lemon says Overwatch.
Oh, Overwatch isn't a bad pick. I would say let's do Overwatch. Loose Lemons.
Nope. Not yet rated.
Oh, is it one of these? Like it's on PC? Like
no, I just think maybe it's just too new.
Oh, it's too new.
If it was like, was it rated and it's an older game, it would say too old for Metacritic and not yet rated.
Power World. That's not a bad. Honestly, that's not a bad guess.
Does that look like
that looks like a workbench? That looks like a workbench.
Nice
so yeah,
job.
I'm actually. Yeah.
Go team.
Thank you, Cinderloo.
That's not rated yet? I find that hard to believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same, right?
Well, because it wasn't technically early access?
Oh, that's fair.
True.
That's the thing. Like, we need to decide whether we're going to review them or not, because Hades 2 got a review.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not consistent.
No.
It's not. And nor should anyone get points for Hades 2.
I'm going
on the
old
Fantasy
school here.
Critic League.
I'm going Dig Dug.
Okay.
Damn.
Lemons, you did do a video game thing. Good job.
Hey!
Nice. Nice one, Loose Lemons. Can't stop.
What's going on here?
Dude, Power World, this is right. Power World is so much fun.
Is this like Santa with a spear? Like,
it does kind of look like Santa with a spear.
There's something unsettling about the image too, and I'm
gonna skip it.
Yeah,
I don't
let's
think
skip
it's Patapon. I think it's too colorful for Patapon.
A green person.
Is this a brain age? Let's do a brain age. Let's see.
I'm fixing my Apple Watch is giving me notifications. I would like it to stop.
It's not a brain age.
Is this those numbers look like
Mario?
Yeah.
Oh, and like a sticker.
Oh, stickers, Paper Mario sticker star or something like that.
Was that Wii?
Yes.
It's definitely Mario because the flowery thing and yeah.
It's
okay.
not
It's definitely
Sticker
Paper
Star,
Mario.
but it is definitely Paper Mario.
Yeah.
There's only 65 results for Paper Mario.
Let's see.
2007. Does that help at all?
King? Could it be?
I think Origami King was the one on Switch, right?
Right.
The last one.
Oh, I thought
it's
that
not
was
1,000 Year. Is it 1,000 Year Door?
Cinderloo says 1,000-Year Door.
Yeah, let's go with that. If it's not this one, then let's go Color Splash because that's another one that's there. Okay, it's not that one. So it's not.
It's weird. This one genuinely looks like. Can I just say it? This one looks like shit. This one looks like.
And see, Mackenzie says Super Paper Mario.
Let's do Super Paper Mario because honestly, this looks like shit.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Whew.
Oh, that would have been so annoying if we knew it was a Paper Mario and just didn't get the right one.
Good call.
I would be like, for my final show, that's how we go, really. I would have been annoyed, I'm not gonna lie.
Why didn't I? Okay.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's
do it.
I guess.
Do it.
Into the Inferno. Sure, let's go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I have a wild guess. It's an indie game that I don't think anyone played, but I love it, so I'm gonna guess it anyway.
Go for it.
It's called Iris.
I
and the
have a
Giant.
wild guess too.
It's not. Oh, it's Ollie World.
Okay, never mind.
What was your guess?
It was gonna be the Prince of Persia that's only on Steam.
Yeah. Nice.
Great game.
All right.
Great video game.
I like this. This makes me feel nice.
All right, we got 3 left.
Okay.
Also, shout out to, I meant to bring him up in the pre-show. I don't know if he watches the pre-show, but there's somebody in our Discord, Joe, that does guess the game.
Really?
And posted in our Discord, and he was like, "Oh, has anyone ever heard of it?" I was like, I keep forgetting to mention, like, "Oh, we do it in the pre-show every single week."
Oh, okay. I love this. Whoever you are, I know you're not watching, but you should watch the pre-show. All right, what's this all about?
Is this a Doom? Is this a Duke?
That's what I was gonna say, Doom.
Or is this a Wolfenstein? Let's just do Doom.
I think I know.
So, say it out loud.
Share with the class.
Star Wars. Oh yeah, Dark Forces.
Are you sure, Joe? If you were playing this ahead of time, and did this on purpose, no.
Okay, all right. Too old for Metacritic though. There's something about it that looks familiar. That like I can remember myself watching my brother play, but I wasn't allowed to touch the Packard Bell.
Okay, it's not a Doom. It's not in Doom.
What are we looking at right now?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Metal
it would be
walls?
Apple.
Let's do a Duke Nukem then. Let's just see. Nope. We are circling it.
Type in marathon.
What? Joe. PC. It was on DOS.
No.
Is it that old?
Alex says The
Descent?
Descent.
All right, let's do Descent. Let's do Descent.
Or
Because I know
Descent,
Marathon
not
was
The
on
Descent.
like Apple. There
Oh,
you go.
Alex!
There you go. Thank you,
Hell
Alex.
yeah!
Thank you, Alex. Ooh.
Funny enough, I think this was one we did when we first started it. I feel like this is a repeat one.
Yeah, this image is making me a little sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Ocean
Making me want to throw up.
Loose Lemons in
Oh my
chat says
goodness.
Alex would know he's also too old for a Metacritic score. That's really good.
Oh my goodness.
This looks
Also,
post-apocalypse-y.
it
Mhm.
does. Everybody, make sure you hit that like, hit that share, like Loose Lemons hitting the like button on YouTube.
I
good
didn't
phonetically
play it,
sound.
but it's giving me that Atomic Heart game.
Oh yeah, I could see
Like
that.
the Russian.
Yep. That looks like a Russian coffee pot. Just
Yeah.
kidding. I don't know what a Russian coffee pot looks like.
Nope, you heard it here first. That's a Russian
Giving
coffee
me-
pot.
Giving me hammer and
not.
sickle vibes. All right, 86
Oh,
then.
oh,
This is RE7?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, all right.
Definitely.
Good video game. Hell
Really
yeah.
scary. Especially that baby part.
Oh my god.
my God.
I wish it only stayed in the
Oh wait, that was
house.
Village. The baby
Yeah.
part. Sorry, my bad.
I wish 7 just stayed in the house.
Agreed.
Mhm.
That we didn't go to the ship. It would have been so much better.
The ship was
Also-
not scary to me. That was more just annoying.
Yep.
The house was terrifying.
House was terrifying. Also, I'm going to say something real, just hot take here.
I have it off the rip, but I'll let you guys guess. I know exactly what
The-
this is.
Okay. They got to decide, is it third or first person?
Mm.
That's all. And it's third.
I think
Third
any
person.
new entry is first. Any of the remakes has got to be third.
Correct.
Everything's got to be. Or give me both.
See, Hida and Mackenzie have it.
Oh, really?
I knew it off the rip.
Oh.
I was gonna say a Final Fantasy, but I wasn't sure which one because I've never played them. But is this the MMO one?
No, this is the
Oh, okay.
last of the PS1 generation, Final Fantasy 9.
Which one is the MMO?
11 and 14.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I was going to be like 14.
Yeah, no, 11 and 14. Yeah.
Oh,
9
man.
has my favorite character, Mackenzie. It's Vivi.
BB.
Oh, we reached a new rank.
Ooh.
Hey. Let's see if
Look
they
at us.
let's see if they show me. There he is. He's
Oh,
a black
that's the little-
mage. He's got a nice little
That's
pointed
Vivi.
hat. It's an
Okay.
existential crisis.
He looks like one of those
that.
little things that you hunt down in Spyro where you have to chase around because they stole the egg.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah. And that's Princess Garnet, who changes her name to Dagger.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like that.
Zidane is the lead. He's got a tail.
Hell.
It's pretty cool.
All right. All right.
Alrighty, that's been Guess the Game. We did pretty well.
Nice. Nice. What was the name of the chick in Final Fantasy X that made me realize I was into goth mommies?
Lulu,
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
of course.
Need to
anytime.
know that.
Chat, we're gonna look weird for a second because I gotta resize Windows. So right now it's only Joe on screen.
Wave Joe.
Hi. Man, rest in peace, Kyle Stevenson, you know? Died by falling into that volcano. I said, don't look into that. So, like, don't lean in and look. And he had to lean in. Ooh,
I did my own for
Yeah.
science moment, but it just led to my death.
exactly. Oh my goodness.
Did you guys? The rumor mills are that shit. What's his name? Who's the guy in Top Gun?
The
Tom
new
Cruise.
ones?
Tom
Cruise,
Cruise.
yeah.
The
I was
the
trying to think of
rumor-
his character's name.
The rumor going around the interwebs now, which means it must be true, is that Tom Cruise is having a bunch of forced science moments with some fish.
What? What?
You heard that right.
What?
Oh yeah.
Tom,
You dirty little toe.
what are they doing in that Scientology?
I don't know.
I don't
man.
know.
Really-
I don't know.
I don't know.
Jonathan
Thou
says, "On
shalt
purpose?"
passeth the goldfish.
I think it's more like groupers, but
Catfishes,
Who
they
gave him
be
that
crazy.
assignment? Did his god give him that assignment, or he's like, you know what?
I don't know.
I'm bored today. Let me
Yeah.
do my
Tom
own
Cruise
stunts
is
in
real
this
life
weird
the
way.
deep. Yes, lemons. Yes,
He 1000%
that's a great analogy.
is.
What? How did the boys are gonna be the new Simpsons? They're just gonna be calling everything, and we're gonna be like,
Yep.
"Damn it, they knew!"
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh,
All right, I'm all set. If you guys are,
man,
Ready?
I am good to go. Let's do this.
all right, chat. We will see you in 16 seconds. Oh wait, nope, I lied. Hold on.
Oh, wait, no longer greatness has arrived. Welcome to episode 399 of The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, this week, we're chatting about that there's no Spider-Man 2 DLC planned. God of War TV show is in new hands. Hint at Naughty Dog's next game, and so much more as we do it live each and every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/PS Trophy Room and audio services the very next day after. Alongside me, the greatest co-host who ever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. Did you miss me?
No.
That's fair, because when I listened to last week's show, you didn't say my best friend Joe's out this week. You said my co-host Joe is out.
Did I really? That was not a slight in the.
Ouch!
Did not mean
Dagger
that
my
at all.
side.
Chose
Dagger
violence.
my side, right?
Listen.
He
Ooh,
just
we
didn't
know.
want me to feel bad. That's all.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He's
That's
helping
fair.
my ego.
And of course, our good friend Tegan, which is her last episode here, filling in as our guest, third wheel, third chair.
Third
How are
wheel.
you feeling? Yeah, third whel.
Yeah, get out of here, Tegan.
Get out of here. We don't want you anymore.
Kyle and I holding hands and nuzzling. You're just in the corner, like, all right, this is it. So how's the ride been the last month? Hanging out with us.
It's been wonderful, but as my final show, I do have a request.
Okay.
Can you guys play Hot to Go?
Yes. HOTTC. I don't know what I do with my hands.
What are letters?
Exactly. I'm not coordinated. Every time I see someone like dancing and singing on stage, I'm like, how are they memorizing all of this?
It's not easy, let me
It's
tell
really
you.
impressive.
I don't have the memory for it.
I used to be in show choir, and that's just memories. Like, it's just muscle memory, because it's otherwise you can't do it. You just have to do it so many times, you don't think about it, and it just does it.
When we started this, I think I was still working summer camp. And
Mhm.
like
Yes.
at the end of summer camp, we would put on a talent show, and we would have the kids choreograph a dance and memorize it. And then we would have to do a dance. Like, I would have to come up with a dance for all the staff members. My God, it's so hard. It was the simplest thing. I was like, guys, we're literally just gonna act out the lyrics. Like, nothing crazy. It was still super difficult.
I remember just being in was it the school like singing group. Remember, like when you're in middle school, everybody had to do the
Choir.
group. Yeah. Oh, is it choir? Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like humming the words and mouthing them and letting like the other like just the 5 people that were really into it do it all for us. That was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That was sweet. I was a star for a second up there on that stage. Well, listen, y'all, we're here to talk about a lot of PlayStation goodness and some weird drama around release dates and all such. But before we get into that, a little bit of housekeeping. First, our community game day. Got some feedback. I did some self-assessment because, like myself, I always like to try to do too much and give myself no time. So we're going to push community game day back into the end of November. I'll give you a hard date next episode. Just give everybody more time to find that time to go hang out with us. We're thinking the weekend of Thanksgiving where everybody's here and just like chilling, low-key vibes, dipping, jumping in, jumping out, just playing some games, having a nice chill weekend and just being thankful for the community we got. And then also next week, y'all, episode 400. And just like Dwayne The Rock Johnson said, the power of the DC universe is going to change forever. So make sure you tune in to episode 400 of the Trophy Room. I'm not lying when I say that this is going to be one of the best episodes we've ever done. Right, Kyle?
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait for
It's
y'all
fine.
to...
Just rub it in that I'm going to have to be in chat. It's fine.
I'm
It's
so
fine.
sorry. I'm
It's
so
fine.
sorry. We have some really cool surprises I'm excited for everyone to see and learn about for the big 400.
Yep.
It's wild.
No, that's really exciting. I'm really happy for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when we told, truth be told, we told Tegan just like 5 minutes beforehand and she lit up. So I'm really excited to show you guys what we have in store, because if I'm honest, Kyle, when I took the week off, which y'all, I missed y'all so much, I really thought about like, instead of taking off like a normal person, I'm like, what's the next 400 episodes of this show going to look and sound like?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, man, that creative juice is just, it's in me. It's running through my veins right now. So I can't wait till next week. This show is going to be great, but next week's show, I'll break my one rule here. It's going to be a banger. All
Wow,
right?
no pressure, everybody. No
pressure.
pressure.
But, wear a suit and tie is all I'm saying. It's going to be a classy show. Yeah.
Just get a
I got
little
my
clip on
blazer.
one.
Yeah, I guess.
Clip it on your
I mean-
t-shirt.
Humble brag. I know how to tie a tie.
Oh,
like no
so
one
do I.
else's. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
a teacher
I got
for
my
like
blazer
over
right
a
over there.
decade. I had to every day.
Fun fact, my brother, he came home from work and he was just wearing like a polo. I go, you wore that? He's
Oh,
like,
sometimes I would wear
yeah.
a polo too when I sub. It's
I'm
fine.
like, no suit, no tie? All right.
My
I
school
worked with
technically-
little kids though, so like
Yeah.
it was less like you have to wear a
That's
tie
fair.
kind of thing.
Yeah. My school technically didn't have a dress code, and I was like, stereotypical teacher in TV. Like I was always dressed up. I was the most dressed. I had my heels, every day. And by like after COVID, it was jeans every day, jeans and sneakers and t-shirts. I was like, post COVID, I just don't care. We had to like use harsh chemicals on ourselves. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore.
You said heels and I went, oof, like, oh, your toes.
Yeah, I was like, nope, I can't go back.
I haven't
Go back.
wore a pair of jeans since I got this job. I stay at
That's
home in
dangerous.
shorts and sweatpants. So when I go out, it's just my cargo shorts. I'm living the dream.
Well, like real talk, and then we'll get into PlayStation, whatever. I hate wearing jeans. They're the worst thing. I'll wear basketball shorts and like sweatpants to the day I die type of vibe. But I've been humble brag losing some weight. I'm down 16 pounds,
Hell
y'all.
yeah.
Impressive.
And now with my sweatpants, and they're beat up sweatpants, but now if I put more than my keys in my pockets,
Oh,
they
they
start
go?
falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give like I told my boss, I'm like, next paycheck I gotta go to DXL humble brag and also DXL residuals, please. Because listen, I'm gonna give you guys a show if I lose 5 more pounds. It's gonna be something else. All right, everybody. That said, it's time for our Patreon pitch. Again, episode 400 is around the corner. Don't you want your name to be shouted out just like our premium producers? Just like our newest members, Enchanted Goat at the Platinum tier, Solo at the Silver tier, and Darth Simon the Pie Man resubbing to the Silver tier. I know I would. You want to be like the premium members, Todd Burwitz and Toxic. Or our Platinum members, JC, Jedi Master Ran, Cowboy Danger D, pew, pew, pew. Jonas Young, Green Gorilla Gamer, Chaotic Monkey, Ryuko Kill 90, Steven Flesh, Strubles and Bits, Aaron, Bertos Maximus, Tommy, Chris, Hybrid 748, Matt Valdez, Silcanet, Decimine, Mitchell Gramling, and Mike Thomas. Of course you would. It's episode 400. It's the best way to celebrate. Or you could be like the gold members, Cypher Primus, Darth Simon the Pie Man, Jesse Garcia, JB the Purple Monkey, Hyde Indoors, Katie, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz, Marcus O'Neill, Red Arrow, Aegis Hermit, Androsaur, Astronaut Jr., Winter Gamer, Stingray X, Robbie Bobby Miller himself, Brenton Zachary, Final Fan XZ. Hambone, JD Dillinger, Stone Cold EP, Tino 6 Speed, N Johnson, Sean McKenzie, Rick Arrington, Matthew King, Duh Overlord. Dewane Roxa, Drellish, Rick Davis, Steph Midler, Samuel Nestling, Maximum Carnage, Solo, Big G, and the Lord Commander, Suddy. Again, you could become a patron or producer at the gold, silver, platinum tiers, and you get your name read on the show. And it's the reason why we look so good. We sound so great. So if you ever got you through a long car ride, a tough day at work, whatever your situation may be, it really does mean a lot. Even if it's just $1, it really does help because, man, these podcast feeds are expensive and they scare me. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, Kyle, I've pretty much nailed this episode so far. I should take a weeks off more often. Take it away. Let's square up the news. Let's start fighting some fanboys in the streets.
First bit of news that is getting squared up comes to us from Anthony Nash over at PS Lifestyle, and Anthony writes, Spider-Man 2 is not getting story DLC and the PC port announced. Insomniac Games has confirmed that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will not be getting any story DLC. It has also announced that a PC port is in the works for the hit superhero game. In a recent blog post on the PlayStation blog announcing the PC port of the game, which is set to release on January 30th, 2025, Insomniac Games senior community manager Aaron Jason Espinoza confirmed that the team has no plans as of now to release any story DLC for the sequel to the 2018 game. Quote, while we have no additional story content planned for Marvel Spider-Man 2, we're delighted to bring all our previously released post-launch content to the PC version, including New Game Plus, new suits and color variants, photo mode features, and more, said Espinoza in the blog post. The move comes as a bit of a surprise as the 2018 game not only featured story DLC in the form of Marvel's Spider-Man The City That Never Sleeps, but also a surprise spin-off in Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Fans had also discovered plans for what seemed to be a story DLC in the game's debug menu during a patch to the game earlier this year as well, but it seems as if Insomniac has scrapped any ideas that they may have had.
Okay. I'm very confused by some people's disappointment and some people's frustration. I am. Kyle Stevenson, I wasn't expecting DLC.
Oh, I wasn't either. I'm just saying, like, you're surprised for people being mad at this?
Oh, you're right.
The internet is mad? What? That never happens.
We were here on the show talking about a guy that wanted to that axe kicked his desk because Horizon was coming to PC.
You're right.
Like, what? Gamers suck.
No, you're right.
But
you're
like,
right.
I was not. Would DLC be fun and exciting and give me an excuse to go back and play it? Sure, I would have loved it. To me, I feel like this is even more exciting because what if the DLC? This is just me conjecturing, just taking guesses. What if it got too big and they're like, let's do another Miles Morales size game?
Yeah. In
between, and maybe we would get more of those story plots that were left hanging at the end of 2. Like, I also we learned, didn't Spider-Man 2 barely make its money back? Or was close, so maybe they're thinking putting out DLC is not going to move the needle too much in that department. Might cost us more. We might not recoup it. Let's just hold it for an intermediate between releases, or just let's put everything into 3 or whenever we get it, and let's just be happy with it.
I think you're right there. I think first a lot of people are they're trying to blame the Insomniac leaks. And I want to throw it over to you, Tegan. Do you think the leaks was maybe Insomniac going, you know what? No, we're gonna pull back on this, or do you think this is much more fiscally, something money related? That's the reason why they pulled out of DLC that was again maybe planned in the pipeline but never announced.
I don't think that if the leaks did have an impact, that they were the thing that completely stopped the DLCs. I think it's possible that it combined with other things for them to be that took a lot of our resources and manpower to fix and make sure it didn't happen again, and to make sure our employees' information was safe and all that stuff. So maybe it took a lot of their resources that they could have put towards a DLC. and at the end of the day contributed to them not making the DLC. But I think if they were going to make a DLC, that alone wouldn't have stopped it. I could be wrong. I've never worked in the gaming industry, so I don't
Right.
really know. But that's what I would assume.
Yeah.
And then
Be-
people saying like, "Oh, in the debug menu, you can see the DLC." That could also just have been a placeholder. Like I feel like
Right.
a lot of times you build these things in just in case, like, "Hey, we don't know where this is going to go, what the funding's going to be, what the money's going to look like. Let's have this here
Mhm.
so we don't have to put it in later." I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that makes perfect sense. It's like, hey, these are ideas that could happen, and maybe they were an option at one point. But I think what you and Kyle said actually kind of intertwine here is like Spider-Man 2 costed $300 million. If they're gonna make another Spider-Man thing, it's gonna be a standalone thing, right? As much as DLC would be really great, I think Sony's way of optimizing Insomniac's output is, hey, you're making big game, medium game, big game, medium game, instead of you're making a big game, some DLC that, as much as I know there's a big install base for Spider-Man, is not going to sell you, 11 million units, um, and selling at a smaller, price tag. Then yeah, how about we just make smaller or medium-sized games, or one medium game to like in the intersection of while you're making the big game, and make you as much money possible. I think it's a
Mhm.
fiscal reason and not so much of like, oh shucks, some shadow company blackmailed us and we couldn't pay up, that type of stuff, or didn't want to, or whatever the case is. Um and so for me, I kind of think it's, yeah, what you're saying, it's more fiscal than anything. And again, like it wasn't like with the first game where it was announced ahead of time. It's like, hey, this is the city that never sleeps. This is a 3-chapter mini episode. It was something that like they never promised, so
Mhm.
I can't be truly disappointed.
Let's
And
also not
yeah,
forget the elephant in the room. They've got Wolverine still cooking.
Mhm.
yeah,
Like it's not like they have nothing else announced that they're
yeah.
working on, and I'm okay with them taking their time on things because they've been the workhorse for PlayStation
Mhm.
since PS5 has released. I think this is the first year without an Insomniac release since PS5 came out.
Yeah, that's actually
So
pretty
like,
nuts.
take
Let
your
him sleep.
time, let them relax, enjoy
Mhm.
all the hard work they've all put in. So
Well, and not for nothing, I feel like the story beats that they did leave as cliffhangers need more than just a DLC. Because I know
I would
DLC is
agree. Yeah.
getting bigger now, but it's still not enough time to fully flesh out those stories that they left on cliffhangers. So for me, the big cliffhangers that people are like, oh, well, now these are going to stay cliffhangers. I always read those as not being wrapped up in DLC, but being wrapped up in a sequel.
Yeah.
So if they were going to do DLC, I don't think it would be tied to those stories anyways, which is
So
what
I
people
got
were
Mhm.
disappointed to.
I got a question for you then, Teeks, because I I saw one of the the leaked images that are now, it's not true, so we could talk about it. Whereas like, here's the plan for the DLC, and one of the chapters was a Carnage, uh,
Mm,
you know, DLC.
mhm.
I think when it comes to certain characters, I want them to have that bigger experience, because Spider-Man's rogue gallery is just it's right next to Batman at being just the best rogues gallery.
Mhm.
And when I think of someone like Carnage, and maybe this is why I wasn't disappointed, I'm like, oh, cool. Because if we're dealing with Carnage, I want Carnage to be at the epicenter, right? Like I
Mhm.
want him to be one of the main bads. So do you think that this allows us to speculate on, well, what if their medium-sized game is a Venom game?
Hmm.
Would you like to see that instead?
Well, if anyone watched last week's episode or listened to it, we know how Tegan feels about Venom.
I know, and that's why I knew I was opening a can of worms.
Never say no to more Venom.
Exactly.
Oh man, no, this got really hentai way
No,
too fast. I'm
I
uncomfortable.
mean, I wouldn't be against it, right? Like
Yeah,
Um,
I definitely want more Venom because I
yeah,
liked what we got of Venom in 2.
mhm.
But it would be, I don't know about either of you, it would be weird gameplay wise,
why is that?
just because like he's a massive creature. Like
Okay,
I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't have fun roaming around the city with him because he's a little bit slower than a Spider-Man.
But I think that would make him so cool. Like he's different. That said, also different reaction when someone sees Venom versus Spider-Man.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
That's fair.
playing around with that,
Sure.
I don't know. I
If
think it'd be
I
cool.
were to have like DLC for Spider-Man 2, it would be cool to have like a Venom DLC where you play as Venom, a DLC where you play as I forget her name, the one that was the police officer, and then turned into the purple
Wraith, I think, right?
Wraith. Like it would be
Yeah.
cool to have like some as her, like where you play as those people as a DLC. That could be fun, and then they can have their own little stories. But yeah, I don't know necessarily if they do like a Miles Morales experience, what that would look like either.
Let's also not forget what the end credit scene was of 2 as well. Like I don't want to spoil it or anything, but there's another character like that's in the wings too. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah. I
They
mean,
got a lot to play with.
they got a lot. And
And Todd makes a good point in chat.
Yeah.
Who's a threat to Venom that isn't Spider-Man if it's a Venom only game?
again, other than Carnage.
That's what I mean. But like,
Yeah. And why? And I mean, listen, Venom was the main antagonist. What's going to turn him into an anti-hero in a spinoff? So I don't know. A lot of cool, interesting questions.
as long as
But
we get a Tom Hardy pack
Oh,
for the
absolutely.
Venom game.
I love Tom Hardy, dude. He's someone I just want to hang out with, like just a weekend away with Tom Hardy. Just talk to
I
me
feel
about
like
the
he would have
world.
your back.
100%. I think he's a golden retriever.
I think your fish
Love
would be
it, yeah.
safe too.
And fish would be safe. Watch the pre-show for the love of God. YouTube.com. So yeah, no, I think you guys are right. I'm not too bummed. Again, never announced.
It's cool.
But-
PC players get it like soon.
Well, you're right, Kyle. I think most people would say, "Oh, it's really exciting."
Yeah,
PC players get to
Rational-
experience this game.
Mm-hmm.
people or be like,
Yep.
cool, yeah, you get to play it, awesome. If you wanted to
Yeah.
play it, go get a PS5. You had a year and change.
Right. And I mean, when you're like, but it's the internet and they get upset if you add a button to a blouse, it makes me kind of understand, I don't know, or see it through a lens of just I don't understand the Venom towards lack.
I see what you did there.
I didn't
Pun
mean for the pun.
intended.
I didn't mean for it. I always do that by accident. But like, I don't understand the toxicity around what's the point, of getting a PlayStation if you could wait a year for this game? I really don't understand the rationale towards the anger, but I don't want to talk about that as much as I want to talk about I'm bringing back an old segment here. Okay. Now this is where the rust comes back. I want to bring back an old segment we used to do, which is we are now in the shoes of Shuhei Yoshida. Okay. In a segment I'd like to call Now, If I Was Shu. You're Shuhei Yoshida. You're the most adorable little man that fits in the palm of my hand and is just always so happy. And also secretly runs PlayStation behind the scenes. And now you have a dilemma because some people are maybe confused, maybe rightfully frustrated of like, what is the cadence between PlayStation release and, when it releases on PC? So I want to go to you first, Kyle. We're talking about it here. We're going to talk it out, and this is going to be the definitive answer for the show. If we're making a PlayStation exclusive game, how long does it stay exclusive to PlayStation before it goes to PC? What's the acceptable amount of time one could wait for it to come to PC?
A year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see any point in holding it any longer than a year. I don't see I do see importance to hold it earlier or hold it until a year, just because like, again, economy, money is tight for everybody, so like
Sure.
it might take a little bit for you to pick up these brand new games when they first come out. But I think the diehards are going to get it as soon as possible, and that's where they make most of their money. Anyone else on the fence are going to wait a few weeks or a month to pick up like on the big first party things. So by the time a year comes around, it makes sense to kind of put it out on another platform to get more revenue coming in.
Right. But why not then? And I'll still hammer you with this one, Kyle. Why not just release it day and date on PC or on PS5? Why not do a simultaneous launch? Do you really think it stymies or hurts PlayStation 5 sales if we do day and date on PC and PS5 for all PlayStation games, not just multiplayer games? I'll Stevenson with the deep thought.
This is me personally, I would still hope. I personally would like a console exclusive window.
Yes.
Like, give me a reason to show me that you're proud of me being in the ecosystem. I guess that's a really bad way to word it, but like,
sure,
give me a reason to own a console and continue to own a console and continue to buy your games day one. Kind of thing, I guess. But also, like, on the other side of the fence, if I get the game, I'm cool with
it. Right.
But I don't think it devalues the console at all. I just think it's a nice little appreciation for fans who are like day one people like us.
Hey, did you hear my stomach growl? Because it went real
No,
loud.
I did not.
Okay,
I did not.
good. I got real self-conscious. All right, I go to you, Light. I'm not gonna edit that part out. I want y'all to know I was pretty nervous. Do you think that time window is important for PlayStation exclusive to jump on over to the other side?
I think for PlayStation, yes, because they're still trying to, focus on their console and have a reason for people to buy their console. And if you're dropping day and date in PC, there isn't necessarily as much of a reason for someone to drop that money on the PS5. Versus if you have even a limited timed exclusive on your PlayStation before PC, there could be some games that someone wants to play badly enough and they don't want to wait a year for, that they might buy a PS5 for. So you're still giving that motivation for someone who could potentially be convinced to get a console to get a PS5 during that window, because that's a long time to wait, but not so long that you're pissing people off. But within the year, you're still within that window where new PC players are going to kind of like revitalize that hype, and it's not so far out that people are going to lose interest in it. I think when you're talking on the Xbox side of things, it might be a little different because they have said that they're not necessarily focusing on solely console. They want an ecosystem. So for Xbox's new strategy, it's a different answer. But for PlayStation, they're still very much focusing on their consoles at this point. You want to give someone a reason to buy that console. And if all of your games are just dropping day and date on PC, you don't necessarily have that reason. If you're someone who doesn't like to game on PC, obviously you'll always have that intrinsic motivation. But if you're someone who could go either way, if you want them to get the console, you have to have a reason for them or a motivation for them to get it. And I think a year window is probably that perfect amount of time, because you're still within a time frame where people are going to be talking about the game. Yep. And you're not so far out that people have completely lost interest, and then it revitalizes and gets people excited about it again.
And to add to that, just because I thought of it while Light was speaking, I also want the developers to focus on one platform to make that version the best possible thing it can be. And if you add more platforms, granted PC and PS5 are very close together, that's not like a PS3 situation where it was completely different architecture or whatever. We've seen from the PlayStation Studio games coming to PC that sometimes they're not always up to snuff when it releases. So I think having more of a time frame for them to make that port a possibility and make sure that it's up to the same level as a console thing is perfectly fine and doable, because I would hate for we get the game day and date on PC and the game suffers because they have to worry about two ecosystems.
Yeah. I mean, Todd Oxtra in the chat brings up a great point. Does Xbox does day and date, does that hurt them? And I think we often, when we take a look at like the PlayStation and Xbox stuff, we always like to put them together because, they are competitors to now a lesser degree, but they are competitors. They do compete for the console space. And I do think, yes, adding games to PC on day one does hurt sales of that console. It devalues it to the extent of like, well, it gives that person a choice of going, hey, I can play it here or I could play it there. And it's not the one-stop shop, right? Of like, oh no, this is the only place I can play it. This is the experience. I know it's tailor-made for this. And yes, I would say it does hurt them in the long run. But Xbox is in a very different position as PlayStation is. PlayStation's main attraction is the console, where Xbox's main focus is the platform. It's the fact that console is there if you want it. It's about the option. Or it's not there at all and you're playing on a Fire Stick, or it's there on a PC or on your tablet. I I I I like that they're both doing very different things to attract different consumers and to try to grow outside of the ordinary of what we already know. So yes, does if this was a zero sum game of PlayStation versus Xbox console, yes, this hurts Xbox and PlayStation gains on that front. But that's not the reality we live in anymore. I think this generation very much shattered those realities. So for me, it's like, yeah, no, it hurts if the interest was to buy a console, but that's not just the interest of Xbox. They're doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
For PlayStation, I'm with you guys. Yeah, it does hurt them to add it day one, though I would love it because like that's why like I love PlayStation because of the games. So if more people get to play it, and I got a lot of heat on social media where I'm like, yeah, put it on everything. I don't care if The Last of Us is on Xbox or Nintendo Switch, you know. God bless Steam Deck, Joel. Just wait until you see them on Switch too.
Could you imagine playing The Last of Us Part 2 with motion controls?
Hey man, they got a good golf swing in there.
Shut up.
But yeah, so like, you know, that's why I love PlayStation. It's because of the games. Not so much the controller's part of it, but if my favorite thing gets to be in more hands, that means they get to make more of my favorite thing, and like I'm fine. That being said, though, not the reality we live in, so I can understand why Sony doesn't want to do that and won't for a very, very long time. But I think the year wait is good enough because you got people with the FOMO, right? You got the people that want to experience it again, maybe on their Steam Deck, and you breathe second wind into the game while also, you're right, you know, that port is then handed off to Nixxes and they're off doing it. So I think my answer is whenever Nixxes is done with their project, they can move on to the next. So yeah, no, I think PlayStation will move closer to PC. I think we've even seen them say it behind closed doors, and we've even seen Hiroki Totoki, ooh, just like Loose Lemons. What a name. Loose Lemons, Hiroki Totoki. So phonetically sound. But just like what they said, they need to be more aggressive on PC. That's what you're seeing here. And so the way I'm thinking of it is like when the day happens where that window shrinks again, because it looks like it might and it will, I'm not going to be totally bummed about it because I'm still going to be playing my game day one on PlayStation and enjoying the fact that more people get to play it when it's released again on PC. So.
And
Yeah.
studios making more money is never a bad thing, especially with all the closures and all the difficulties we're seeing. Let's allow them to find means to make more money.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That said, speaking of finding ways to get things done, let's talk about the God of War show, shall we? Kyle Stevenson, take it
Let's
away.
do it. Nelly Andrieva over at Deadline writes, God of War, Ronald D. Moore boards Amazon series as the new showrunner. With Ronald D. Moore back in the Sony Pictures TV studios fold, the prolific creator / showrunner is taking on a high-profile IP for the studio. He has been tapped as writer, executive producer, and showrunner of Sony TV and Amazon MGM Studios' Prime Video series God of War, based on PlayStation's hugely popular ancient mythology-themed video game. Moore's involvement with God of War follows the recent exit of the project's original creative team. Showrunner, executive producer Rafe Judkins, and executive producers Hawk Otsby and Mark Fergus, who had been with the show since its inception 2.5 years ago. The screaming child is on my end, by the way. As Deadline reported, they had completed multiple scripts prior to the changeover, which marks a shift in the creative direction of the series adaptation. God of War is the first major new project for Moore since he returned to Sony TV in June with a new multi-year overall deal. He had left the indie studio in 2020 after a successful 10-year run that yielded 2 long-running hit series developed / co-created by him, Outlander for Starz and For All Mankind for Apple TV+. 4 years later, the shows are still going and both have become franchises, spawning in upcoming spin-offs, Blood of My Blood and Star City, respectively. Moore serves as an executive producer on the Mothership series and the offshoots. It is one of several genre series he has worked on, most notably the award-winning Battlestar Galactica for Sci-Fi via UCP, which he developed and executive produced.
Ooh-wee. Okay, so a little bit of a roller coaster with this show, huh? A little bit of a roller
You're
coaster.
taking us on a ride.
Yeah, we had some ups and downs. Listen, when it comes to this TV stuff, I don't know much about executive producing or show writing or whatever have you, but I do have some questions and I do have some thoughts, and I wanna take it over to you, Teagues, because here's the thing. I've seen this multiple times on socials. I want to get your thoughts on this. Do we keep the God of War show live action? Or do we make this an animated feature? Where would you like to see the God of War show go?
If you had asked
Animated?
me a couple years ago, I would have said live action. But we have had some amazing animated adaptations
Yep.
in the past couple of years.
Yep.
I really think if done well, I'd be happy with either. I think it might be a little bit easier to do animated because of just some of the things that have to be portrayed. And that makes me a little bit nervous with, getting CGI involved. And, sometimes I don't love the art style that people take when they have to get outside of practical effects. And I don't know in terms of money, which one costs more or less. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I think that's a factor to consider for sure. Because you don't want to cut corners if you're doing live action and you need like CGI and practical effects and things, especially with a game like God of War. Yeah. So I really don't have an answer for you because I don't know anything about that side of the business. Yeah. But honestly, if done well, I think either could be phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, I think of shows like Arcane.
You could have Chris Judge as the voice still for Kratos if it's animated.
Right. I mean, man, because I would love to see Christopher Judge as Kratos, but I think he just celebrated his 60th birthday, and I know, I think Dave Bautista has talked about it multiple times of like how hard it is to keep that weight on the older you get. It just becomes harder and harder. So I want Chris to hurt himself. You know what I'm saying? Because and that's the other thing. It's like live action is really hard for me not to see Christopher Judge as Kratos. When people say The Rock, I'm like, come on, guys. There are more. He's
not The Rock.
No, just because he's big and muscular does not mean. Please, we need someone with. I know this sounds crazy because he's Kratos, but like range, and acting ability. So Kyle, I go over to you. Live action or animated, friend? We're both torn. It could go either way. You need to be the deciding vote on this.
And I will be because I am not torn.
Oh.
To me, it has to be live action.
Yeah?
We have already experienced an animated version of this story in video game form. To me, to bring new life into it, I want to see real humans on screen portraying these characters that we know and love. Just think of how much the Fallout show revitalized those games.
Right.
And seeing that world fully realized with real people in it. And seeing the sets brought from animated form into using real props and real settings and locations. Like, I would love to see their take on, like, I don't know, why am I blanking on the realm with all the fog?
The Norse?
No, I'm like the level in 2018 with all the fog.
Niflheim? Is that Niflheim?
Yeah, Niflheim. Like, I would love to see their take on the elf world and just a different architecture that they can do and make it look like it's real. Like, I can go visit that place. Like, that's what I look forward to in adaptations. And you're right, CGI is super expensive and can be hit or miss. but also animation can also be the same thing for me. Like,
Mm.
there are very few animated things where I'm like, I'm there day one. I want to watch.
We might need to ask Todd Oxer to leave the chat because he says, "Is Chris Pratt available?"
Only if he
No,
does
but
his Mario voice.
Exactly.
Oh God,
Boy.
stomping Goopas.
But yeah, to me it's I really want to see a live action.
Mm-hmm.
Like just think of how cool it was seeing Last of Us on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And bringing that world to life. And could you imagine if Last of Us was animated?
Oh my God,
it'd be
awesome.
wild. It'd be awesome, yes, but like,
yes,
I don't know.
No, I agree. I think I would prefer live action for sure, but like the Cyberpunk show, for
The
example,
Edgerunners, yeah,
loved that. Now, to be fair, that wasn't the main characters we played as. That was an offshoot story, so that's probably why it worked.
Yep.
I didn't watch Arcane. I haven't played the games that they're based off of either, but I don't know if that's also an offshoot story. So I'm wondering if maybe the animated series works better if it's not following like the main protagonist of the game.
That's a good point.
Versus a live action. I'm assuming we're going to be following Kratos' story.
I would
so
hope
probably
so.
live action makes sense because why not just make another game at that point, you know?
If
So
they
do
go
you
all
think
the way
we're
back
starting?
and it's a God of War show on Ares, I don't know if I'm into it.
I was gonna say, do you think this is like we're going to the Greek pantheon first, or are we? Kyle's, you're real fast at it. You're saying no, we're starting at God of War 2018.
Yep. I think it's
Why
the
is that?
story.
Yeah.
Are they making a remake of the original games though? Because if they're going to do a remake of the original games, would they also want the show to do what Fallout did or The Last of Us did
That's a good
and
point.
revitalize and push people to buy?
I just don't know if those early games have enough narrative weight behind them for a show.
They'd have to lean into the daughter storyline for sure.
1000% need to.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's so much weight and depth in 2018. It just like leads itself to a show. Man, I don't know. I think there's more. There are better supporting characters that you can use in 2018 than there are in the earlier games, at least the first one.
Yeah, and I think you can definitely. There
we
are
can have
questions.
A flashback episode for sure.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can have flashbacks of like why does this pantheon loathe him so much or is scared of him or watching him? What happened to, maybe they make reference to like another family he had or a daughter that he had, and maybe that's another question that maybe this version of Atreus is asking, and that could also fill in for like the mother leading them along this journey of like Atreus not knowing truly who his father is. And I think that could make for some really good television. And that could fill in the gaps of which we're climbing those rocks and squeezing through those tight crevices,
Who do you guys, like, all jokes aside, who would you like to see as Kratos? Because obviously we don't think Chris Judge could particularly do it anymore. I love Chris Judge. He'll always be my teal'c forever and always. But, age-wise, probably not necessarily going to fit the look they're going for in the show. So who would you cast? Dreamcast.
Let me do a
Glenn
Google
Powell,
search.
because he's just dreamy, you guys. Oh my God, dude. Makes me question all sorts of things. Oh my goodness. You seen Twisters? Woo.
I haven't watched it yet. My first instinct, and I don't know if he's got the range. I don't know.
All right.
Roman Reigns.
Oh my goodness. That he would have to show up in a really big way.
Right.
Like,
I don't know. I haven't seen any of the movies he's been in, so I don't know if he's got the range, but I don't know. I could see the attitude, he gives the attitude.
Realistically, I could see a Dave Bautista. He's genuinely a great actor. But when I hear people say The Rock, I'm like, guys, he plays one character. It's The Rock all the time. I'm tired of him.
I'd rather Bautista be a Gears of War show, anyways.
Yeah, no, 100%. But honestly,
I've got a good one.
Go for it.
Winston Duke.
Winston Duke.
I don't know who that is.
He was in Baku in Black Panther. He was in Us.
My God, yes.
I forgot what other.
Oh, yes.
I think he would crush it.
Holy shit, yes. Yeah, I like that.
I like
What'd
that too
Cindy-
because my second was going to be Idris Elba, but again, age-wise, I don't know where he falls on the spectrum there.
Yeah.
My mom would watch day one.
Yeah.
She's the who? Oh, my boyfriend. All right, T, you want to sit down for this one? I walked in my mother's room, right? And her desktop was a picture of Idris Elba. And I'm like, I'm like, Mom, why do you
I
have a
love
picture of Idris
him.
Elba? And she's like, oh, I just have such a crush on him. My mom
I
is
love
like a
that.
little teenage girl. I
She's
love
I
big
her.
love
Knuckles
that so
fan.
much.
Yeah, yeah, big Knuckles fan. Oh Christ! I know this is her last show, but we don't need to scare her away. All right, Kyle Stevenson.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Listen, we moved on from Sony's best studio to Sony's other best studio. Let's talk about Naughty Dog.
David, I apologize if I put your last name here. David Carcassol from PlayStation
I think
Universe
it's
writes-
Carousel.
Carousel.
I think he says it.
David, I appreciate you and your words. Thank you. David writes, Naughty Dog's next project will reportedly focus on quote-unquote player freedom. We're all on the edge of our seat for whatever the next project from Naughty Dog will be. We've technically not seen a new game from them yet this generation, since its latest releases have all been remakes or remasters. There's also the added layer that we've not seen anything not called The Last of Us from Naughty Dog in years. We know the studio is working on a new IP, but there's still plenty of questions about what that will look like. Well, according to Ben Hansen from MinMax, and what he's heard from a source, quote, who worked on the game, end quote, something to add to the picture is player freedom, quote unquote. The tone was like, you are all not ready for how amazing this thing is going to be, and the tone was, I'm not going to say the game that they were referenced to compare it to, because I don't want people to be like, MinMax said it was going to be exactly like this, but they compared it to a game with a lot of player freedom, end quote. While Hansen avoids saying the name, their source compared Naughty Dog's new game to, he said more than enough when he used the words player freedom. That's not something that players are used to having in a Naughty Dog game. In fact, that's very often been the point, with Naughty Dog historically being a studio that wanted to deliver well-executed, highly directed narratives. It'll be interesting to see what player freedom looks like in a Naughty Dog game.
All right, wait. Todd Oxrick put out a great suggestion here. Chat, keep on throwing in who you'd like to see as Kratos, because Todd Oxrick said David Harbour. Let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I'm
Again,
saying?
I have to look up who that is. I'm the worst with names.
Oh, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The sheriff
Oh,
everybody wants
yeah.
to bang. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
him.
I didn't
love
like
it.
him
And I
as
get it.
Hellboy.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. The game he's talking about is Elden Ring. We know when we're talking about, no, I'm serious. Like, we know when they were making The Last of Us Part 2, they were exploring a lot of Bloodborne, right? They really liked that level of player freedom, playing around with narratives in a non-linear fashion, and making it more melee focused. I think that there is something here. That's my dog hooting and hollering over there.
He agrees with you.
She agrees. She's like, yeah,
Oh,
it's
she agrees
obviously.
with you. Sorry.
So I bring this over to Kyle first, and then I gotta explore what the heck's going on with Abby. We talk about Last of Us, and Abby's now hooting and hollering. But I want to throw it over to you, Kyle. What's that type of player freedom that we see? Is it what I think it's Elden Ring in terms of we're picking up the pieces of a narrative as we play the game? Or what do they mean by player freedom? What's your interpretation?
I think this leans towards it being a space game. And player freedom is like, go to the planet you want to explore first and go that route. I don't know if it's like an open world kind of thing, but I can imagine like a open universe where you can hop between planets and whatnot. And
Starfield?
Starfield, yeah, right? Like, it could be.
Oh, man.
Because that's what I want Naughty Dog to do. I would love for them to do a space game.
Mm-hmm.
And like every other game that they've made, whether it's Uncharted 3, I think Uncharted 3 had the reference to the outbreak in the newspaper in the opening scene for Last of Us. Last of Us 2 has a very heavy space theme. So like I feel like they're leaning space. So to me, player freedom means exploring a universe and going to different planets and whatnot, and not tied to one specific world.
Do you think, sorry, do you think
No, go for it.
they still create the character that we're playing, or do you think we are now making our own character?
I still think it's a named character that they make. I don't think it's like a character created, customized, sure, but I still think it's like a named, like,
Yeah.
similar to
Yeah,
like
I
a
agree.
Cyberpunk, like a V.
Yeah, when I think about player freedom and like I'm picturing the game, I am just picturing Judas that the BioShock team's working on because ooh wee. Like that's a type of game where it's like it interests me in a way that it's a game that when you talk like when you hear them talk about it, it's like I've never experienced something like that. And I think Naughty Dog doing something that is going to challenge them on a creative level but is still in their wheelhouse excites me more than hey, a Naughty Dog multiplayer game, right? In all seriousness. So like when I hear player freedom and I hear Neil talk about how much he enjoyed Elden Ring and how much he was inspired by that game, it makes it makes perfect sense that that's what they want to dive into. And then you could make if you're trying to elevator pitch this to a suit, you're just like, and you can make so many stories within this universe. Just think about the cross media potential of it. That's really exciting. And also it's Naughty Dog flexing on a something that they're really good at, and I don't feel like they get the praise for it, which is like they have really good mechanically feeling games. Like their gameplay is so tight, it is so damn good, but it always gets overshadowed by the narrative. Yes, Kyle Stevenson.
On that point, though, I think the weakest part of Naughty Dog is their melee combat.
And I
So
think
if the next game is going to be melee focused, that worries me a little bit.
yes. Yeah. And I think that is something, again, that is a challenge that I'd like to see them address because they
Absolutely.
if you're saying this, they've probably had that conversation, you know? So I'm really excited for this. I can't wait till we see this. Tegan, are we gonna see this next year? Are we gonna see this game? Are we gonna see a trailer?
Maybe a teaser. Maybe a teaser.
I'll take it.
I
Oh,
don't
I'll
know.
take it.
I
John,
don't have any hope for any close dates of anything anymore.
that's fair. But I got hopes and dreams. I say next
I've
year.
got another question.
Okay.
What do we see first? This one or Santa Monica's next game?
This one
You think?
has to
It's
be.
been longer since Santa Monica,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sure, but Corey didn't do Ragnarok.
Ooh.
Corey's been working a little bit longer
Yes.
on whatever this next one is.
You're right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Granted,
And
I
depending
don't-
on
I
what
don't-
Naughty Dog's doing, it might be a much bigger
Exactly.
game.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Give them all to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me the trailers.
Drop Ghosts of Yotai next year. Give us the Naughty Dog trailer. Give us the Santa Monica
Give
trailer.
me everything right now.
Bloodborne
Please.
remake, Bloodborne 2, whatever. Just give it to us all.
PS6. Whatever. First off, I said let's throw in some suggestions in chat. Y'all are running wild. Like you said in the chat, Alan Richardson, which I'm gonna be honest with you, he could pick me up and put me down.
Please.
What a handsome dude.
Please.
And he is legitimately, I've seen interviews with him. He is literally the sweetest human being.
Mhm.
He's
Is that
really
the,
awesome.
the actor from the Jack Reacher show?
Yeah.
Am I thinking the
Yes.
same-
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he's big and strong.
He's beefy.
Yeah.
He's pretty dreamy on the eyes.
And Henry
And-
Cavill, he could do anything. So obviously
I mean-
Henry Cavill. I mean,
Put a ring on his finger is what he can do. Let me tell you. Ooh.
so this is a little offshoot about Henry Cavill. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, I just love him so much.
Oh,
But
please.
his partner, she's pregnant right now, and they like didn't tell anybody, but they walked out of a restaurant and she just stopped and rubbed her bump and gave a look to the cameras and then kept walking like, yeah, that's right. I'm pregnant with his baby. And I was
Yeah.
like, girl, I would do the same thing.
Honestly, I think Henry Cavill would do it too because he loves video games.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah.
So I think he'd be like, sure, you want me to play Kratos? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh
he
my
would even
goodness.
play Brock too. Like, I don't think he cares. I think he would just like want to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of her. Anyway, me and every straight male who has a crush on Henry Cavill. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Again, I think we're gonna see this sooner than we think. You know what? I'm gonna put a good vibe out in the universe right now. See it at this year's Game Awards. Let the whole world know.
Okay,
You know?
I mean, honestly, I could have sworn that this Game Awards we're going to get Spider-Man 2 DLC.
Yeah.
Now that that's out the window, what is Sony's big like thing that they're going to drop at Game Awards? Because it seems like they have at least one big thing the last couple of years.
I know. I know.
It was
I
Burning
know.
Shores 2 years ago. Last year was the Valhalla DLC for Ragnarok.
Anything can happen.
Oh boy.
Hey, gang, it's time to get into some flash news. Gotta run. Gotta go fast. Oh my goodness.
So
There's
fast.
something behind us. Wait, it's Ella Richardson. We gotta run. We gotta turn around.
Turn around! I'm back!
Into this man's loving embrace. Hey, gang, the Lego Horizon Adventures previews are in, and they're all seemingly pretty dang positive. IGN says, after spending a few hours with Lego Horizon Adventures, I now can't wait for its release. Though looking back, I do have a few things that stood out that I'm curious of how they're going to handle. Bosses, big fights with multiple large machines, as you'd expect in Cauldrons, and how they were going to handle Silence after passing of Lance Riddick, whose performance played such a prominent part of the first two games. And an update to that as well, they're recasting Silence, which of course is completely understandable, and that person has some pretty big shoes to fill. Push square rights. All in all, it's quite simple game, but that's by design. This is a Horizon title that'll be playable on playable by pretty much everyone, and we really think it's going to introduce an all-new audience to Gorilla's world. The gameplay is tight, the visuals are outstanding, and while we are concerned it may lack some variety, we're already fairly confident that it's going to be the best Lego game to date. And GameSpot writes, having now played over an hour of Lego Horizon Adventure, it feels like a game with great ideas that are restricted by the IP it's based on. I love the world of Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, but the opening hour of Lego Horizon feels like its setting and characters are clashing with the comedic and creativity and gameplay loop that so many Lego games excel at. The opening hour of Lego Horizon feels like it's a pretty decent start to what's hopefully a good game at the very least. It's shaping up to be my favorite Lego game in terms of visuals, but there are moments where I could see the kid-friendly vibe of Lego conflict with the more adult-oriented storylines of Horizon. And with all these previews, it has been announced that this game has gone gold. It's coming out November 14th.
Yay.
And on top of that, they said they're not working on any more Killzone games. Gorilla said. They're closing the chapter on it.
Okay.
That said, where's our hype? Where's the hype at with this game? I'm landing on a 6 for me. I'm here.
If I had to give a number to it, I'd say around a 7. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the girls
Girls
to
are
play
gonna
it.
love it.
I'm gonna get it on Switch for them, but yeah, I'm excited.
All right. What about you, Teagues?
I think I'm a little higher. I think I'm an 8. Just because
Okay.
I haven't played a ton of Lego games, but I do love the vibe of Lego and I love Horizon. And yes, there are story beats that are heavier, but maybe they don't worry about those. Like maybe they don't do those. Maybe that's not what we're focusing on. And it's just about playing around in the world.
Yep.
And I think that's going to be great fun. And I'm excited for different people to get into the universe because, again, more money for a studio IP that I love that will give me more things to play. I don't
I can look at it. You see it now. Kyle's niece is turning, Uncle Kai, what's a nuclear holocaust? Oh shoot, kid. Yeah, no, I like Lego games usually are hit or miss for me, but I love the world of Horizon. This game looks so beautiful. So I think that's gonna carry a lot of weight for me. I'm more excited for people like when I saw they flew out a lot of Nintendo folks over to the Sony HQ. It's like you now know exactly who they're targeting for this game. It is not for, us adults. It is for the families out there, right? It is for the kids to get them into this IP. And when it comes to like the adult themes, yes, there's some if you think hard enough, there are some really deep themes here in Horizon, but it's not the deepest thing in the world where like
We,
a kid's gonna come out existential. You
we
know?
also, all of us here and in chat, we've lived through the Pixar era.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where there's been a lot of adult things happen that hit us super hard, but for
Mhm.
kids, it's just another story beat, and it doesn't
Right.
hit. It hits differently. So
I cried during Up.
I think, oh my god, are you?
Oh my god!
If you
Of
did,
course.
we'd have issues.
Yeah.
So I.
Oh,
The
I
Good
didn't see
Dinosaur. Don't even get me started on
Oh,
that movie.
Man,
I watched that the year my grandpa passed away.
Why did you do that?
I don't know,
You should
man.
not
I was
have-
hurt.
You should not have done that. You should not have done that. I'm so sorry that happened
Yeah.
to you.
Ooh,
I was hurt and I was
sorry.
numb to pain, and I need to open up those wounds sometimes.
I
Yeah,
forgot. I forgot which one of my nieces was it, but I watched it with her. We were sitting here on the couch watching it, and she was like, "He's gonna be okay, right?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
The
kid,
worst.
you'll be fine.
The
It's
worst.
gonna be cool.
Uncle Kai, are you cry? No, it's
How
just
you-
allergies.
When I
How you
cry-
make such a devastating movie and call it The Good Dinosaur? Like
Exactly.
really?
Yeah.
That's just rude.
When they were around and they'd see me cry like playing a game or watching a show, which happens all the time. They look at me like, "Why are you crying? It's- What are you doing?"
I don't know, man. I got
You don't
feelings.
understand.
It's the Mets, damn it. Sorry,
Don't get me
Kyle.
started.
Sorry.
Oh god.
All right, here, listen, this is a good one. Bungie creative team joins PlayStation to support live service games. This comes from Tom Ivan over at the VGC. Bungie Creative Studios has joined PlayStation Studios to support Sony's live service games. Bridget O'Neill, who previously served as the senior director of Bungie Creative Studios, discussed the restructuring on LinkedIn earlier this week. Today was my team's last day at Bungie, but not our last day working on Destiny and Marathon, she wrote. Bungie Creative Studios is joining PlayStation Studios to build a foundation for a creative team that can support all PlayStation Live service games. As part of this move, I'm taking on a new role as Senior Director of Creative at PlayStation Studios. Bungie announced in July that it was laying off 220 staff, 17% of its workforce, along plans of further integration with Sony. Quote, first, we deepen our integration with SIE, working to integrate 155 roles, roughly 12% into SIE over the next few quarters, Bungie CEO Pete Parsons and human piece of shit said. SIE has worked tirelessly to identify the roles as many of our people as possible, enabling us to save a great deal of talent that would otherwise been affected by the reduction of the workforce, and the reason why I wanted to keep one or two of those fancy cars. That's not his words, but I believe that's what he was thinking when he was typing it. Anyway, second, we are working on PlayStation Studios leadership to spin out our incubation projects, an action game set in a brand new sci-fi universe, from a new studio within PlayStation Studios to continue its promising development. Ooh-wee, Kyle Stevenson. My loathe for Pete Parsons cannot be understated, but I think this is probably the best direction for PlayStation in terms of figuring out live service. I saw a lot of people reacting pretty harshly to this news, but I want to know what you think and what you think this team is going to be doing over at SIE.
Harshly in what way?
Pete Parsons?
No. Like people
No.
reacting to this news harshly.
That PlayStation's still trying at the live service thing.
Well, I hate to be part of that group because I kind of feel the same way.
And for Pete Parsons, because he bragged about his new car the day before he fired the person
Yeah,
which
no,
he
Pete
bragged
Parsons is awful. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not at any sort of side to support that
rocks.
whatsoever.
to.
I really thought after the Concord thing and
Yeah.
Factions 2, whatever it was, I feel like they would have course
Got the
corrected
hint?
fully. But I'm also realizing like Fair Games is still coming.
Mhm.
And that's essentially probably most likely going to be a live service thing, so they are going to need support. So it's cool that these people at Bungie are now getting positions at PlayStation, so
Yeah.
they'll be quote unquote safer I guess, job security wise. Which is awesome. They haven't proven to me that they have any inkling of what's going on with live service stuff. Like when you were gone last week, Light and I were talking about like, why is Concord being updated on Steam still? What are we doing? I thought it was gone. Like I feel like it's just, let's throw a dart at the board and whatever it lands on, we'll work on today, or it's, I don't get it.
They still don't have a clue.
No.
That's why I think this team exists, though. It is the folks probably working on the back end stuff of how do we make live service games work for the various games that are being worked on, right? So it's like, hey, we'll figure out the monetization so that, like, I think, what is the hybrid multiplayer game? Like, I think Ben's working on a hybrid multiplayer game that they were talked about years ago. At this point, like, what's the monetization look like for that? What does the monetization look like for Concord if we bring it back free to play? What does it look like for free games? Or sorry, what's the Haven game?
Fair games.
Fair games. Jesus, work on that title. It's awful. How do we change the name?
But it's got a dollar sign in it.
Yeah, no, that's stupid. So it's
that's dumb. Change it.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, from an SEO perspective, awful idea.
Awful idea. Please. What about you, Teagues? You think this is not exciting? Yeah.
I hope it's them, like you guys have already said, looking at the games that are already in the pipeline that they've committed time and resources to, and they feel at this point they have to release. And how do we make it so that these games actually land? And not, what's a different live service game that we think will actually hit this time? Yeah. Like, just I'm done with live service games, please. Clearly, the market is oversaturated because it's only one in a blue moon that are actually landing now, and it's rare, and it's just focus on what you have.
Take a look at like the games that have worked. They're all like, they start from the bottom. Like when we take a look at Battle Royale, yes, Fortnite popularized it, and they had a lot of advantages and a lot of ideas stolen to make it to monopolize on it. But it started with PUBG. I even started way earlier than that, but like the germ was PUBG. You take a look at like Escape from Tarkov. Everybody's trying to make an extraction shooter because Tarkov is its own entity. Dead by Daylight. How many times do we see another asymmetric horror multiplayer game? But because Dead by Daylight is just so prominent, its audience is massive, and like its brand integration is insane and incredible. And of course, you're going to see these big studios look at that going, okay. And they think their answer is, well, we have all these studios. How about we spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to make something that's like Fortnite or like Dead by Daylight or like Tarkov? And it's like, or you could spend less money, and yes, it's more risk, but you take some creative chances and you pour money into new ideas. Maybe that's how you get those things. A lot of it is like lightning in the bottle, and Suits just see lightning in the bottle going, how can we monetize that, and not go, how can we create our own lightning in a bottle? I don't know. It angers me. It angers me to no end. Okay. Gang, this is just for me to yell at the sky about. There is no platinum on the PlayStation 5 version of Black Ops 6, and that has caused Joe to break out in hives. That is true. I have hives thinking about this. Yes, Kyle.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
But can we also use this moment? Can I also scream about something that's not here in the doc, but I want to mention?
Yeah, go for it.
Ubisoft, what are we doing? Why are we shutting down the Prince of Persia team? What, like, excuse me? You went back to the roots? Even though I didn't, like, fully love it, it's still an amazing game. Why are we shutting that team down? If you're not familiar, the Prince of Persia, what's the subtitle? Forgotten Sands?
No, The Lost Crown.
The Lost Crown, thank you. The Lost Crown, that team has been disbanded. Ubisoft's like, goodbye, see you later. It just released the DLC, I think, a month and a half ago or something like that. Like,
yep.
It feels very Netflixy. They're not giving it enough time to get what it needs to do. And they're like, oh, it didn't hit these amazing astronomical numbers in 5 weeks. So, done.
One of the best games of the year. And see you later. Like, somebody
It's
buy
really
those games,
aggravating.
please. Please. Get some new leadership over there. Good Lord. Sorry to hijack the Black Ops Platinum thing, but like...
No, that's fine. I got another one that makes me upset. I got two. I got two in this one. But the fact that team, listen, apparently they're working on a Rayman remake, but it's like, man, it's Rayman. He's got no arms. So I don't care. But like the team is so talented, and it's totally on leadership going, hey, we're gonna make this game $50 at launch instead of going, hey, let's make it $30.
And it didn't launch on Steam the same day.
No.
Either.
And that is a game that desperately needs any and all eyes on it. So on top of that, though, it looks like Ubisoft has learned, because they have also dropped the price of Assassin's Creed Collector's Edition, which has me maybe contemplating walking over to GameStop and being a little bit irresponsible.
Oh, I'm doing it. I'm giving in. I'm so easily swayed.
That's fair.
I love Assassin's Creed, and I saw
that's fair.
discount. Girl,
How
man,
much
I'm
How much
saving.
is the discount though?
I don't know,
$50. It was
yeah.
$290.
So it's not $250?
Or no, $300 now. It's like $220 maybe.
Okay.
It's a cool statue, dude.
No, I'm not hating it.
Yeah.
I'm not hating it at all.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is from Kami over on Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky. Ooh-wee. That's the latest one everybody's hopping on. I am there too. It's nice there.
I need to follow you over there. I don't think I followed you yet.
Oh, please. Yeah, we need to. Monster Hunter Wilds open beta announced. PlayStation Plus early access October 28th to the 31st for PlayStation Plus members. The 31st to November 4th is the open beta. Includes a character creator and story trial with progress transferring to the full game. I would start anew. It's too long. The muscle memory is not going to carry over to the new game.
Also, like, Dragon Age is next week. It's at the same time. What are we doing?
In Horizon. I don't know.
What are we doing?
Also, I'm just so tired of hearing about this game. Can we just release it already?
I agree.
No, that sounds so bad. They've been talking about it for so long. Please just release it.
Let's go.
Please just release it.
Again, if we have a squad,
just put it out there.
Yeah, we're all gonna spoiler. We're all gonna love it. Just
spoiler. We're gonna see it again at the Game Awards. I guarantee it.
Exactly. And we're gonna, and then you know what? We're gonna see it at the Game Awards, and then we're gonna see it at next year's State of Play.
A week before it releases or something.
It's never coming out. It's only just these trailers and betas.
Better yet, we're seeing it at the Game Awards. We'll have a dedicated State of Play about Monster Hunter and only Monster Hunter a few weeks ahead of time. And then there'll be like a Capcom little showcase sometime in February beforehand. Yeah.
Oh boy, just release the damn game. It looks great. It's gonna do great. Capcom, you're wonderful, but release the goddamn game. All right, PlayStation Stars. This is my own. As you can tell, the last two have been my own words.
This threw me for a loop because I didn't believe it, and I checked when I looked at the doc, and I'm mad.
Yeah, I typed in caps and everything for it. PlayStation Stars. Let me read it in full. And there's probably misspellings everywhere. Because again, I was furious and on my phone eating Chick-fil-A when this happened. PlayStation Stars has removed the option for PSN $5, $10, and $20 wallet credits. And now Joe might just join the boys at the Capitol next year. That's how angry I am about this.
Oh, boy.
I'm just furious.
Oh,
so if you guys don't know, PlayStation
Tell Luke
Stars.
I said hi when you see him there.
He will. He's getting the face paint ready, dude. So he's headed in the wrong direction. Anyway, yeah, if you guys don't know, PlayStation Stars there was some hidden gems in there. And you would be able to accumulate some points pretty fast. And I'll just say it now that the secret's out. If you were a creator and you got a code for a game, PlayStation Stars would give you points for that game as if you purchased it. So I was able to
that's
game
why I
the
didn't get any codes.
That's right. That's why you didn't get the squirrel with a gun. That was all me.
That's
So,
what I had physically.
oh, you bought it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love this. So yeah, you can't buy the digital currency anymore for just a PlayStation Store. Now it's just for select games, which has me
Or
pretty
like, yeah,
upset.
currency for, yeah, like you said, specific games or just games outright.
Yep.
This is wild to me because I legit just redeemed some wallet stuff like 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Just because like I wanted to buy Neva and I redeemed I think $10 worth of PSN. I didn't have enough to buy. I was like, okay, well, I'll have to wait for my paycheck. That was literally like 3 or 4 days ago. Like,
Yeah,
what are we doing?
we're hoping it's a bug,
I hope so.
but get your pitchforks ready because this is something to be upset about. Okay.
You have fun at the Capitol. I'll stay here.
All right, where it's gonna be. Listen, I'm bringing bratwurst.
Like,
the boys
we
are gonna love
may
it.
need to have you come back for an extended period of time
Okay.
early next year.
Exactly.
Just let me know.
Yeah. I'll be podcasting from Pelosi's desk. It's gonna be quite the show.
If I was
All
Pelosi, Alex Smith in chat goes, Neva's so good it's gonna make you cry, Kyle. Oh, I am aware. I love playing games that make me cry, so I'm excited.
Spoiler alert, took me 3 minutes. That's all
To
it
beat?
took
No, I'm just kidding.
to cry uncontrollably. All right. Last but not least, the US software sales top 10. We're only going to bring up the 5 because I'm tired of reading. EA Sports, FC 25. Number 2 on the list. You know what? I'm only going to read number 2. No, I'll read 3 just to make it a poignant point. Okay. Number 2 on the top software sales of the month of September, Astrobot. Then number 3, Madden NFL 25. F it, we're going to do 4. And then 4th, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So when people go, oh, Astrobot looks like it didn't do so great. Nah, I think it did pretty fine. And I think we're just working on preconceived notions of things. So glad to see my little Astrobot. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe Astrobots might hear me out.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
The Chung-Li version got me acting silly.
Listen, I'm not gonna shame you.
Who am I to judge?
I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
I am literally the last person to be able to judge.
That's fair. Like, you really do have to meet my best friend Amy because you two are gonna be diabolical. Both of your hear me outs are frightening. Anyway,
That's the point.
even so.
By the way, ever since we did that last week, my TikTok feed has finally been populating all the Hear Me Out
Yes.
cakes. And my God, there are some good ones.
Oh God. I saw one was like a werewolf. I was like, guys, what are we doing here?
One was the ladybug from James and the Giant Peach, I think I saw. I was like, whoa.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I thought you were gonna say the caterpillar from the Bug's Life. I'm like, all right, they
Ham,
like him
I think
thick.
his name was. Why do they call him Ham? Because he was big.
I'm a
I
beautiful
don't like that.
butterfly.
Exactly. All right, y'all. It's time for what you've been playing. We each got one game that we've been playing that we're dying to talk about. Tegan, I'm gonna head over to you first. What you been playing?
I just beat World at War. My first COD, baby.
Yeah.
Yes. How
Loved
was
it. I'm trash, but I loved it. It was so fun, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna be diving into Black Ops 1 or just whatever,
Yes.
Black Ops
Yep.
this week. I'm really excited. I'm gonna work my way to 6 at least, but
Okay.
man, I had a great time.
Good.
I'm very excited to keep playing.
Yeah, it's World at War is really. Oh man, I love so unabashedly. I think a lot of Call of Duty stories are actually really good.
They're a good time.
And World at War brought in a lot of characters, even from like past games, into this one. But you're going to love Black Ops 1. It is many people's favorite. It's not mine, but it is top 3, I think. And then play Black Ops 2. I believe you could skip. You could play Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, skip 4 because it's multiplayer only, and then do Cold War and this new one.
Oh, I have a list.
Oh, you got. All right, never mind. Never
I
mind.
did my research, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it now. This is controversial. This is controversial.
Please.
I'm gonna do Black Ops 1.
Mhm.
I'm gonna skip 2 because from what I understand, parts of it are timeline chronologically are
Yes.
early, but parts of it are much later.
Much later, yeah.
So I think I'm just gonna play it after the fact. So I'm
Okay.
gonna do Black Ops 1, Cold War, and then 6.
Nice.
And 2 is kind of the one where I kept seeing different people be like, no, play it here, no, play it here, no, split it in half. And I'm like, I can't do that.
No.
I can't do that. So I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna play half the game, play a whole different other game, and then go back. No.
Right. Because
No.
I want to do it chronologically in terms of like history or timeline,
Yeah.
you know? So,
And then I like from the bottom of my heart, play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2018 and then Modern Warfare 2.
okay.
Those are for me story-wise the best Call of Duty stories. I would go to bat, and even some of the best level design, especially from Modern Warfare 2, because there is one where it's very much inspired by The Last of Us and Resident Evil.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a real good
Awesome.
time.
I'm very excited.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. Call of Duty, like people write it off. It's so damn good. Who was your favorite character?
Reznov.
Fair enough.
Loved him. Look, he called me the heart of the army. Are you kidding?
Got some real hammer and sickle vibes this episode. Ooh-wee. I love Woods, and I really hope if in Black Ops 6, which I'll be talking about next week's episode, if we don't play as Janet goddamn Reno, I want my money back ASAP. Because Janet Reno's my gal. You know? Kyle, why are you
Keep
laughing?
an eye out for her.
I'm laughing because I don't see her in 6. I can see her in Warzone as a skin.
And Will Ferrell's playing
Yes, 1,000,000%. That's exactly where my brain went.
her. Kyle, what you been playing this week, bud?
This is gonna shock you. Outside
really?
of my daily MLB The Show stuff, but like
Jeez.
I've been in a gaming rut. I
Fair.
don't feel like playing much lately, just because life stuff's been crazy stressful. But over the weekend, it's like, you know what, let me give this game a second shot. Let me give it a try.
Sure.
See if I feel any better. So I'm like 6 hours in, and I think Cyberpunk is okay.
Okay.
I think it's just okay. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I haven't met Keanu yet.
Oh.
So I'm going to stick it out for as long as I can. But like right now, I'm just like, okay.
You're in the prologue still, bud.
Oh,
Mhm.
I fully know I'm in the prologue because that's where I stopped last time. So
Fair
I know
enough.
I'm redoing the same stuff again now with
Oh,
all the
that's
updates and
probably-
stuff.
Yeah.
Because like I played it when it first launched on PS4 and then I didn't touch it. So like I have the PS5 version. Haptics are fantastic. They're really, really good.
Really good.
I know I gotta stick with it, but I'm just like, it's nothing.
it.
It's not grabbing me yet.
Stick with it and also try different builds because it really is
Good
a
call.
completely different game depending on the style you do. Like if you go fully, I forget what it's called now, but like the hacky tech side,
Sure, yeah.
Mhm.
you can decimate everybody in a room before they even know you're there without firing a shot.
Yep.
So
Fair.
like there's very unique gameplay mechanics too
Yep.
that you can mess with. And
Mhm.
it still might not be up your alley because it is a very unique game,
Yeah.
but try those things. Push it at least further into the story
Yeah.
a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
and then try maybe
I'm gonna
switching up your
stick
build.
with it until next week and Dragon Age comes around,
Okay.
or whatever I get paid from work because it's a once a month kind of thing. And because I want to play
Yeah.
Silent Hill real bad too,
Mhm.
and
Ooh.
Metaphor. So like, there's a lot of things that I want to
Ooh.
actually pick up. But
Fair.
yeah, like I appreciate the worlds. I appreciate the music. I appreciate the characters. They're all real cool. There's just something gameplay wise where it's just not clicking fully yet.
Mhm.
And
It does take a while for it to open up. I'll give
yeah,
it that.
And
Yeah.
I said something crazy to Mike, friend of the show, my 6-1 Indie co-founder. I said to him like, I feel like I don't know if I like RPGs with guns. I feel like I prefer my
Mm.
RPGs with swords.
Mm-hmm.
So
I get that.
So maybe I gotta once maybe it opens up even more, that will
Right.
change completely. Who
Mhm.
knows? But that's kind of where I'm at the moment.
Okay.
But it might not, because it is
Exactly.
unique. It is unique,
Yeah.
and like you said, RPG with guns. That's like when I'm reading a fantasy book that's set in like modern times. I don't like
Yeah.
that. Like I
Mhm.
don't want a fantasy book in modern times.
1,000,000%,
So I
like-
get it. I get it completely.
I think the only outlier would be if it was like a traditional RPG. Like I think of Final Fantasy VII being like a techie modern
Right.
thing, but it's still turn based in that front. But like
It's also
a
still married
first-person
so
thing?
well to the fantasy element too.
yeah, so like I don't know. We will see. But I'm very jealous of what you've been playing, Joe, because I've only heard
Yeah.
incredible things. So go.
Let me tell you something. Talk about setting being the thing that holds me back a lot. Persona has never been the game for me. It's stylish, it's flashy. I get 40 minutes in and I fall asleep. Right when it's like, hey, you could fall asleep in the game. I fall asleep in the game. Little cat talks to me, I get a little sleepy sleep. Metaphor Refantasio, I played the demo. I was like, let me give this game another shot, right? Because when I played it, I admittedly sleep deprived. It didn't click. I've been playing 12 hours of this game. I literally got to the final boss of the first dungeon. So I have a road in front of me, man. But this game is absolutely incredible. And it's exactly what you said, Kyle. Like there's so many mechanics of which I've heard about in Persona here. Like you have transformations that are personas in your persona, and your classes are very much that, just personas. But you're able to mix and match abilities together. So you can be theoretically, you can be a healer and take certain abilities from a mage build and put it into your build, or passives from, if I'm my brain's working correctly, if I'm remembering right, from like different builds. Like I'm a knight, but I can take from a similar class, which is like a warrior, and I have a slashing ability now, like a warrior would have. So it has a lot of customization within the classes itself for you to mix match and also explore each class fully, because every time you level up you gain new skills, you gain new passives. Each I'm just going to call them personas here. Each persona has 20 levels, and each give you again more abilities as you go on. Oh my god. This game's art direction is incredible, guys. Like when I'm thinking of like UI, I'm like, usually it's like get it out of my face. It's just simple. The more simple, the better. Metaphor shows that UI itself can be art. Just going through the menu is beautiful. Going through fighting, because it's turn-based as well. It's a blend of both. But like going through the menu as you're fighting, gorgeous. The music, I don't know what this guy's rapping. I don't even know if it's rap. I don't know. He's just like, who about it, you know? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm a vibing. Like this is great. Um, Beautiful. This game, incredible, and its story is so damn good that I need to see where it goes, because it's already took some turns that I did not see this game take, and it brings up themes that are just you don't hear a lot about in just mainstream media in itself. It's really goddamn good. I'm enjoying my time of Metaphor so much that my only worry is like when Dragon Age comes out, where do I fit time for both?
Are you?
Um,
Yeah.
Because
I wonder
I
if
want
this
to
is
keep
going to
playing
be
this
your
game.
version of Baldur's Gate last year, where you play a little bit of it and then you wait till we're on break, and then that's when you go and just play the whole thing.
Exactly, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. Or it also serves as a great PlayStation Portal game. So this
Yeah.
could be my Portal game, and then Dragon Age is my main squeeze when I'm home. But like, man, this game's
That's
game's
good to hear.
special. Also, here's my hear it out. Uh, Type in Gallica. Metaphor Refantasia.
Gallica? How do you spell Gallica?
Gallica.
Okay.
That's my hear me
Let's
out.
see.
And this is a
This-
judgment-free zone.
Okay,
The pixie girl?
Yep.
that is not a hear me out. She's just objectively beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
What are you
okay.
talking
Really?
about? Yes.
Maybe I'm not good at hear me outs.
Just because listen, if she's a humanoid with a cute face, that does not count.
But she's like the size of an insect. Like it wouldn't work physically.
Okay, I guess
Okay.
that makes sense. All right. Feel like full size here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's like Tinkerbell. Almost,
I'll give it to
know?
you. I'll give it to you.
That's my hear me out.
I thought she was just regular size. I'm like,
No,
I don't.
no,
What do you
no.
mean?
I have a really
Mm-mm.
crude joke in my head that I don't think I
Please.
want to say here on the live right now.
Tell us after.
Yeah.
As my
I'll-
parting gift, you must tell me.
I
Yeah.
1,000,000% will.
All right, fair enough. Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna write it down so I don't forget.
Oh Jesus Christ! All right, well, Kyle is holding on to that note. Tegan, are you holding on to anything?
A straw.
Hell yeah! Prepare the drop. Here are the latest steals and deals coming to the PlayStation storefront. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on the 25th. Sonic X Shadow Generations, October 25th.
Heard it's pretty good. Makes the best Sonic game better from Sonic fans.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
There you go. That's all I need to know. To not play it, but be excited for y'all. Fun fact, Amy and I were going to limited run when we go to North Carolina next
Hell yeah.
month.
Sweet.
And Amy's like, what's the store that, because like her boyfriend's a super Sonic nerd, and he's just like, can you guys get me anything Sonic related? Sonic X Shadows, there's something limited edition is doing. And I'm like, all right,
That
dude.
store is incredible,
relax.
by the way. It's awesome.
Oh, it is so good, dude. Can't wait. The Smurfs Dreams
Oh, you missed
on
one.
October. Oh, sorry. Yeez X Nordics on the 25th. The Smurfs Dreams on October 24th. What?
So
Just the way you said it.
the Smurfs. Dreams.
Dreams.
What do you think
Uh,
Smurfs dream about?
I don't know. Smurfette, probably.
Yeah.
Literally the only female, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Romancing Saga, speaking of Smurfette, Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. Okay. Oh, on the 24th. Awaken, Astral Blade on the 22nd. And Kyle, a game you were talking about, I think either last week or the week before, Fear the Spotlight
Yeah.
on the 22nd. I heard it's a really good intro to horror game.
I can't wait to play
So,
it. I hope by the time we have our episode next week, and it'll be the Halloween episode as well. I'll get to.
Are you
talk
guys
about
wearing
that.
costumes on your Halloween episode?
I have to see what I have around.
truthfully, Kyle, I do have an idea. I think we should dress up next week,
Okay.
even if it's episode 400. I have something so funny, but it also makes a lot of noise, and I don't think it'd be good for the podcast. But depending on how my sound gate works,
Okay.
at least for the first 5 minutes.
I feel like you're just gonna wrap yourself in aluminum foil and call yourself Clank. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
No, I kind of have to ask you to spend $30 of the Patreon money to pull this off. But I think it's going to make for really good entertainment.
Okay.
Color me intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell Tegan. I'll tell Tegan.
Okay.
And I'll see if she nods off to it, you know. She
Okay.
signs off to
Okay.
it rather. Yeah. All right. Kyle, are you ready?
I'm ready.
For our favorite segment, but sadly the last segment of the show, it's time for the Sony Pony Express.
Gabs Goody
Oh.
writes in.
Oh shit! I was gonna do a little bonus thing. Of
Oh,
course, you
sorry.
can write in and send your questions over at the Trophy Room Discord server, or on our Twitter account, or on our Blue Sky account. You get to ask us questions. We'll answer them on the show, just like Gavs Goody. Kyle, take it away, good
Joe,
sir.
are you gonna dress up as Eve from Stellar Blade? Anyway, Gabs Goody, Sony Pony question.
You
Yeehaw.
wish.
I've been
Before the button update.
exactly
Exactly.
before the button update. I've been replaying Death Stranding's director's cut for the first time. Haven't beaten the game since it first launched in 2018, and I'm falling in love with it all over again. Especially seeing the new additions with the director's cut, like being able to build a road in way more places now. First question: what was your favorite thing to build in Death Stranding 1, and why was it the zip line? Amen. That's the best one. Two: what new tools or changes would you like to see from Death Stranding? I assume you mean 2.
Yeah. So, okay. First question, Kyle and I, we can take this, right? Definitely the goddamn zip line.
1,000,000%. Especially with the
Then-
mountainous area, just strategically placing them so you can zip over those mountains are awesome.
Beautiful. Then the exosuits.
Yeah, those are cool.
Oh yeah. For number 2, this is Tegan. This is where I think you could come in, and give in some really good thought here. What are some tools that will make the game more engaging for you in the sequel?
The thing that kept me from getting into 1 was just my ability to walk. I just could not figure out how to walk with the packages on my back. And I know that's
Yeah.
such like a noob thing to say. Like I didn't give it much effort, if I'm being fair.
No, it takes like a rewiring of your brain. No, I get it.
Yeah. And I also am one of those people where like I got distracted by like the actual deliveries. And I was trying to get all the goods, all the places, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to focus on. And so that was overwhelming. And then trying to balance it all with stealthing through this random camp that I accidentally walked through. And now I had to build this thing because I have to get over this river. It was just too much for me. So I almost think dialing some of that back for a new player would be helpful, but I understand that's the point of the game. So I can't really say that. But for me, it would be just like make it easy for me to walk.
Yeah.
Fair. We'll start at walking. Yeah.
I think it would be cool if we could install essentially post like mailboxes in the world where you could drop off packages there to keep just in case you're like in a dangerous area that you can either come back to and pick up and redeliver, or because I would hate going through like a river and I slip and then I go down the river and it's gone and I fail. So like a place where I can keep it safely and not have to worry about where I left it, I think would be fun. Or into like, do we have a technology for drones to just deliver it to the place? Like, I don't know.
Because the
like
question becomes, should we have connected? Now I know there's like a special like 20-minute deep dive into this game. I don't want to look at any gameplay unless I absolutely have to.
Agreed.
I really want to be surprised with this. But what I would like for this game is, again, the game is all about helping each other in the first game. But then the second game is, should we have connected? And I think this could be a good way of implementing some either A, PvP elements, or either B, random encounters. Like, not when I mean PvP, I mean like, instead of building a bridge, there is someone put in like a BT zone, right? Or there's like an enemy encampment somewhere along the way. Maybe that's not the type of game he wants to make.
I feel like most players would lean just to
troll.
be
You think?
inconsiderate and drop.
That's
harder
fair.
Things.
So then I would lean on random encounters.
Sure.
Where you're running into NPCs on the road and you don't know whether to trust them or not.
Yeah, just like an overhaul on the combat too. I think I would really love.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's weird to say my favorite part of Death Stranding playing it was the walking.
Yep.
I didn't really dig the gunplay when it got to the guns.
True.
So
True. All right, fair enough.
This
But like, yeah, go for it.
this is random, but did you guys see the movie The Postman? It's like it's old. When did it come out?
Maybe rings a bell.
97. So basically it's like post-apocalypse and this dude literally is a mailman. And it's about this guy and
Kevin Costner, sign me the hell up, dude.
I was always wondering if Kojima saw that film because it always reminded me of that. And I know he likes to take a lot of inspiration from songs and movies and other mediums. And that really is what it reminds me of.
It's a good call.
Kevin Costner. The GOAT. I love it.
One of the movies I have actually seen.
I know, and what I haven't, that's nuts. Your dad's like, listen, we're not going to see Independence Day. We're going to see The Postman,
Welcome
goddamn.
to
Oh,
Earth.
yeah. He watched the crap out of that movie. That's why I've seen it many times. And Dances with Wolves. Oh my lord, don't even get me started on that movie.
He's a Costner fan. He's a Costner crazy, they call him. All right, Kyle, let's talk about this next question here.
Ghettoberry writes in, hey guys, hope you're all well. As it's Halloween next week, what gaming characters would give out what candy or sweets to the trick-or-treaters? Take care, you ghouls.
Or goons. Let's see.
Before we get into the characters,
Yes.
I have a point of contention with my 6-1 indie friends.
Okay.
I feel like I'm the only one that thinks this way, but it would make me feel better in my stance that both of you feel the same way.
Okay.
Tootsie Rolls are trash, right?
Trash.
Thank
Absolute
you.
garbage.
Thank
Absolute
you,
garbage.
Lord.
There is no other answer.
Thank God. I thought I was living in a crazy mirror world over there.
There are people that like Tootsie Rolls?
Very much so, and they are part of the 6-1 indie family.
Just don't.
I would listen. I don't want to start any bad blood between you guys, but you should leave.
I will say,
You're a
though,
Tootsie fan?
Oh no. Tootsie Rolls.
Oh.
Okay,
I remember.
The-
I remember the day I hated them because I used to love them as a kid, and I'm like, I was like 8 years old, and I was just walking. I was chewing this. I was like, this is too much work for so little flavor.
So everyone in chat is agreeing with me, and Light, I see you're also on the side. The flavored ones are good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cherry Tootsie Rolls or the orange Tootsie Rolls, the lime
Even
ones
the
are
vanilla
good.
one?
Those
not
are
bad.
good.
Get a
Specifically,
Starburst.
Sure.
Okay.
But specifically, the chocolate ones are trash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're like
Yeah.
F tier candy. They're awful.
Like, why choose that? Why choose?
1
Why choose to
million
do that?
%. They're awful.
Okay. Fair. I
So
have.
I feel
two-
like Kratos would give out Tootsie Rolls because he doesn't understand.
it takes effort.
Exactly.
Builds character, boy.
He doesn't care about flavor. He's just giving out candy because he has to. Societal norms, you know?
Yeah. But like Swedish fish is, if I'm gonna risk pulling out a crown, it's for a Swedish fish.
Mm.
Dance with the devil
For
for
me,
a
it's
Swedish
Mike
fish.
and Ike's.
I'd never mess with a Mike and Ike, so I
Okay.
don't have a strong opinion. I don't. That said, I have 2 questions for you guys. Actually, no, one, because it's not candy related. I need to make it candy related. I'm not going to try to set you guys up of what to think about them.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on candy corn? Tegan?
I started off not liking candy corn, and then I went through a candy corn phase where it was really good for some reason, and I don't know why, but it was real good. And I couldn't eat the
Okay.
pumpkin ones because they were too sweet. It was too much. But like the little ones, I'd bite off each color individually, and I was digging candy corn. But I am now out of that phase again, and I don't like candy corn. However, because I
Mm.
went through that phase of my life where I was loving candy corn, I can understand the love.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
not in that point in my life anymore.
Fair enough. Kyle, I hate to tell you this. Depending on your answer, Light will replace you next week. So no pressure, but what's your thoughts?
You're kicking me off on episode 400? Oh no! You've got to be fucking kidding me. This is ridiculous. No way did this legit just
Oh
happen.
no.
Did this legit just happen and freeze at the exact moment you...
It did.
Good Lord almighty. I was like, okay, you asked me that question, and then
Yeah.
it freezes. I'm back now.
Oh,
I can
yeah,
hear
you're
and
good.
see you. Jesus
Hi.
Christ. You'll never know. I
You
answered
reacted
it when I
well
was
to it.
frozen.
You're like, you're like, you gotta be kidding me. It happened again. I'm like, oh man, he's getting really into this.
I hate candy corn. Almost on the same level as Tootsie Rolls. They are too sweet for me. To me, there is no flavor other than sugar.
That is fair.
Okay.
That's a
All
valid
right.
criticism.
If it was like a flavored thing, I'd be more into them, but it's literally just sugar.
That's
All
true.
Sorry.
Tegan, are you free next week? But also no, you're also on thin ice. But are you free next week? Dude, I love candy corn, but it's in moderation. If you have more than like 7, well, we're in for a bad time, both taste buds and toilet. But
To me, candy corn are just sugar cubes for humans.
Oh, they are. They're colored sugar cubes.
That's
Absolutely.
literally it. There's no flavor to them other
Absolutely.
than sweet.
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. I like sweet. Look at me, Kyle. I like sweet.
Look at me. I hate the taste of just sugar.
Well, you sound like an anomaly to me, man. I live here, man. This is great. Okay. All right, last one. And we'll get to this question. Real short on this one, okay? Pumpkin spice or apple cider?
Apple cider.
Apple cider.
All right,
Looks
man,
like maybe it's our podcast now.
Yeah,
and
man.
he
Yeah,
needs
guess
to
what?
go.
You're not on the show next week, Joe.
Oh, looks like I need to start my own thing.
I went to school upstate for college in Oswego. The best apple cider I've ever had up there.
Listen, we're New Yorkers. We're apple cider people.
100%. You Jerseyans stick with your pumpkin spice bullshit.
Okay. Gladly, dude. Pumpkin spice muffins, in for it. The pumpkin scone from Starbucks, which personal vendetta to Starbucks. Okay. They got rid of the pumpkin scone. What are you doing? Said it right.
I say
I
good
deserve
riddance.
answers. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's pick one character. What are they giving out? Kyle Stevenson.
Ellie is going to give out wax lips.
Ooh, what are those?
They go with her joke books.
Exactly. See? Right there. Perfect.
All right. fair
It's
enough.
literally just wax that you can chew on.
Okay. Teagues, what about you?
Abby, going along the same veins, is giving out Kit Kats because she's breaking off a piece.
Hey, yeah.
I like that. I like that. Joel, I'll stick with Last of Us.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Joel is a, I feel like a York peppermint patty fan.
The classic, yeah.
Exactly. And like he's like, hey there, kiddo, I found one of these in one of them drawers.
No.
Why did he sound creepy all of a sudden?
This is
Hey
my-
there,
this is my-
kiddo.
I would argue Joel, I feel like, is either. No, Sully would be Werther's. That's old.
Ooh,
Werther's are so good though. I love
They are
Werther's.
pretty good.
Give me all the
I
Werther's.
feel like Joel is more those strawberry candies that look like strawberries in the wrappers.
The hard
Mm.
candies.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like that's more Joel than a minty thing.
Werther's original is so fucking good. Dude. That's such a good pick. I think Nate would be a Twizzler guy.
Also
I'm-
gross.
I would.
Yeah.
Don't give me Twizzlers.
I think Nate and Lena's house are giving out ring pops.
Ooh.
All that
That's a
treasure.
good one. That's different. Yeah, that's true. Or
the chocolate coins that are gold.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
there you go.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh my god, that's good. All right, Kyle. What's the next question on this here list?
Chris writes in Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Been playing
Yeah.
Alien Isolation for the first time after picking it up for $6, and it's been
Holy.
scaring the crap out of me, especially mission 10 so far. Thoughts on the game, and what are the scariest moments you have encountered in any game?
Funny enough, this game, I love Alien. Love Alien. I am too scared to play this game. Scariest moments in a game though. Last of Us 1, Bloater in the basement, and then Resident Evil 7, the first boss. That's my.
Mm.
I'm gonna.
You're trying to find the
reference-
gun for the first time. Scares the shit out of me.
I'm gonna reference something that Light brought up earlier: the baby in Village.
Mm-hmm.
That freaked me out.
Fair.
Yeah, I haven't played Isolation. I'm with Joe. Too scary for me.
Yeah.
So
Same. Haven't played it yet either because I'm a big chicken. And
Yeah.
Probably eventually I'll play it, but not this year.
Listen.
wait.
I have Silent Hill 2 remake sitting there just because I've had I had high blood pressure this month and I'm like, I'm gonna have a heart attack playing this game. I can't do it right now. But I will soon.
Jonathan Kelly in chat saying Isolation ties in with Romulus.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, if memory serves. Yes.
I did see that they might be making a VHS version of Romulus.
I want it very much so.
I might pick it up.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Oh my god. Well, and it's out on digital. Please go watch it. Go watch that movie. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, like, did you give your scariest moment in the game?
I didn't, but I was still thinking about it. So not actually the scariest moment, but I have been streaming Silent Hill 2, and I actually embarrassingly had a very large jump scare from from a chain hanging from a ceiling.
Yes.
I was looking too fast and I saw out of the corner of my eye and I jumped right out of my skin, and it was a chain hanging from the ceiling.
I love that.
And I will never live that down. But I think the scariest.
I like how you're reliving it. You're like, oh boy,
The terror.
So bad. I think the scariest for me, not in terms of like, well, fear, but also just disgust and anxiety, was from Outlast. When you get to the segment in the basement with that dude with the body, like doing the things with the bodies, that really, like, genuinely disturbed me to a point where I cannot play Outlast 2 because that specific segment messed me up so badly. I cannot play the second one. So like, it had lasting impacts on me, and I can't play the second game. So like, it wasn't necessarily like, I'm so scared, but I was disturbed, and
I've told this before in the show, but similar thing. On PS3, I was playing Dead Space for the first time, and there's a moment in the original Dead Space, I think it happens in the remake too, where the power goes out. The same time the power went out in the game, we lost power in the house.
No.
Instantaneously, and I got so freaked out. I didn't play it until the remake. I was like, I'm never going back. It's done. I'm done.
This game is cursed.
It's awful.
When you meet the necromorph that regenerates, that scared the shit out of me so bad. I remember it to the day. Like, I shot him like, whew, thank God he's done. And then he just starts regenerating, and then they're like, and we're gonna give you a weird ass puzzle to solve. I was like, nope, I'm gonna go watch Rad Brad. He's gonna help me through this.
The regenerators in 4 too, the sound they make.
Oh
no, thank you.
I could not do a walkthrough of horror games in particular, Teagues, because I play them for 10 minutes. And if they're scary enough, I go on like a Rad Brad walkthrough. I watch 10 minutes, mentally prepare for another 10 minutes, play for 10 minutes. That's how I work.
I have pre-recorded some, but now that I'm a parent, I am much more emotional, and I'm much bigger scaredy cat. I don't know why, but all of a sudden being a mom, I just don't have the emotional capacity to process fear or something. I don't know. So I can only stream the scary games now. But I love, now that I'm playing Silent Hill 2, I watch the Rad Brads up to like I can until I've gotten to the point where I am in the game. And I just freaking love, because I'm jumping and screaming and being the most obnoxious, terrified person ever with this game. And he's just like, oh. And he just like has the slightest. I'm like, how are you so calm?
Yeah.
And like, I love it so much. I love it so much.
De Niro, I'm going to save this question for next week's episode since it's Halloween. But like, when it comes to horror movies, I am like,
oh, I love horror movies.
Yeah, I love a good horror movie. As I've grown older, like, I used to hate them as a kid, but like, I love them now as an adult. Yeah. Like, we were just talking about Terrifier before the show. Like, I love that stuff. Give me more of it.
I'm gonna find a horror movie as soon as we're done here to watch before I go to bed.
Long legs. Let's go.
I've already seen it.
Have you seen Romulus?
No, not yet.
There you go. There you go.
But
those are ideas.
I don't have money to rent it.
Oh, you know how much renting is now? It used to be like $4 or $5.
It's more.
$20.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'm not doing that.
On,
I'd rather buy it physically.
Yeah.
Well,
how dare you? The captain writes in, seeing Kyle's heartbreak this week over the Mets, thanks a lot, Captain, brought up some serious PTSD. Listen, I'm very proud of them. One of the best baseball seasons I've ever watched and being a fan. So on to 2025. Watching Kyle's heartbreak this week over the Mets brought up some serious PTSD regarding my sports team, Liverpool FC, a football quote-unquote soccer team from the UK. And FYI, Joe, the Gooners suck. My question for you guys is, what gaming moment made your jaw drop, gasp for breath, and shatter your heart? I've got one. Instant. Do you have one, Joe?
Yeah.
Go for it.
What does Ellie say? Please stop.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go.
Everyone left me except for you. That line? That's
Stop it right now. Stop it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Last of Us, man.
Literally just the whole franchise. Both games. There's so many.
You're my people. Jesus Christ.
That's
That's my favorite line in 2. Favorite. It maybe even the whole series. Love it.
The first thing that popped into my mind is, and it literally is so pivotal into the video game fan that I am today, and the reason why I play games that make me emotional, is the ending of The Walking Dead season 1. Is the conversation between Clem and Lee, and the saying goodbye. I'm about to cry right now. It's oh boy, I didn't see that coming. And then how that game ends with just a little girl that reminds me of my oldest niece that looks just like her on her own in a zombie apocalypse. I think I was crying till 4 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't stop. It was so powerful. That's definitely like the one for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, if you didn't cry at the end of that game.
There are some people that did it though, and they're like, "How do you cry in video games?" Like, I don't know. I'm actually invested while I play.
Those people deserve to be in the situation room. Like, they need to be making the calls we can't make. Because if you are stoic, like, all right, then yeah, no, you're. That should be part of like SEAL Team 6 training.
Yeah.
Forget the puppy. Play that game. Don't cry at the end.
Remember to keep your hair short, kid, like or something like along those lines. Like, come on.
I don't know. I'm gonna steal both of yours because honestly, like I can't think of anything other because those are just so good, and I completely agree with those. I was a mess in both of those instances, and I fully agree with both those answers. So I'm just gonna take the cheap road, and I'm gonna say that because I feel like there's too many options for me also because I do get highly emotional with everything.
Fair.
So I'm gonna I definitely agree with both of what you said.
I do. There's something where you're like, as a mother, I get scared more or whatever. I was thinking while you're playing Silent Hill, something scares you. You're like, take the kid. You're just playing, take the kid.
No, but I just watched Train to Busan, and let me tell you, the frickin'
what a movie
wrecked me.
Is that the one with the zombies?
Yeah, but it's so much more. You need to watch that if you haven't seen that.
I watched some of it, but I was at work and it was very distracting.
It's very good.
Watch it all. It's very good.
Fair enough. Oh, can I have a hear me out?
Sure.
One more.
Let's see if it goes along with the joke that I'll say after the show.
Sophia Falcone, the Penguin. Listen, we all go through some hardships, and family isn't sometimes the best to us. Okay? I can fix her. That's all. That's all.
Okay.
And go watch the Penguin. It's terrific. All right, sorry. Next question, Kyle.
Dewadi Raksha writes in, Team, having finally won a single game of Balatro after 9 or so months, I want to know what is the longest it's taking you to notch that first win in a game. Congratulations. That's awesome. What's the longest?
18 hours.
What do you mean?
18 hours. For my first dub in Balatro?
Oh, I gotcha.
But then once it clicked, I was getting them pretty fast. Yeah. Teeks, have you played Balatro?
I haven't.
I will say you shouldn't. It will ruin your marriage.
I think like in terms of things that took me the longest was the Valkyrie in the first God of War. That final Valkyrie literally took me all day to beat. I forget what her name is now, but literally took me all day to beat. And then when I hit 100K,
Sigrun?
Yes. When I hit 100K, my husband made like a compilation video of like community members and gaming moments and whatever, and he put that in there, and I literally took me all day. It was so bad. It was like one of the proudest moments I was. And then I did Bloodborne, and obviously I've really struggled with those, but not like that. Like that was my first ever experience doing something like that. So I don't know how many hours it took, but my husband literally went to work and I was recording and came home from work and I was still recording that same fight. Yeah. So however many hours that was, it was all day. Yeah.
She is a tough battle. Yeah.
She's harder than most From Software bosses. I'll say that now. So,
Oh, okay, nice.
yeah, tip of the hat. Yeah, no. Again, you're a great mom. Don't ruin it with Balatro, because that's all. You're like, kid needs to eat. I'm really close, and the Joker keeps talking shit. Because I have put over 145 hours into Balatro, my most played game this year, and yeah, that is the ultimate podcast game that I'm honestly scared to put it on my phone because I will just be playing it instead of doing anything else.
It works pretty great on the phone. Can confirm.
Don't tell him that.
Stop it.
I don't know what's the longest. Like, it took me years to go back to Bloodborne, but like it's not like a similar kind of win kind of thing.
The Owl Father boss in Sekiro. Talk about wanting to throw my controller. That is the game. Deleted it 5 times and said, no, F this, I'm not going to do it. And then finally beat him after days.
The final boss in Lies of P took me all day.
Okay.
Mm.
I can't wait to play that on the Pro.
Before they patched it. Yeah. I'm one of those people. I beat it before the patch.
Hate to say it. Or the last boss in the Shadow of the Ur Tree that ruins the experience for a lot of it.
God.
Yeah.
Boy, it's real good though.
Real good.
Nickun over at Nickun90 writes in, what if they actually released a Halo Battle Royale on all platforms? They could keep multiplayer campaign on Xbox PC, and the BR could be PS5, Xbox, and PC.
All right.
I like that idea.
Anyway, I get to play Halo on PlayStation. Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome. Again, I will make a trade. I would trade. I mean, when I mean trade, I mean our game goes over there too, and your game comes over here.
But not forever.
Not forever. No, like you guys get Last of Us 1 and 2, and a future Last of Us, but we also get that as well. And you get, we get future Halos.
Gotcha.
That's a trade I'd love to see.
Sure.
Hear me out, Cortana. That makes sense. Hologram. Also incredibly tiny. Sensing a very troubling theme.
So, what are we learning about you today?
I don't know. People that could sit on my shoulder, apparently.
I like robots. You like tiny things.
Apparently, I'm a furry. It's crazy.
All right, fair enough. We have problems we need to address. Hopefully. Jonathan Kelly says it. He likes small women. I mean, historically, 5-foot Latinas have my heart and my soul. So
there you go. It fits.
I'm a short king looking for a short queen. What can I say?
How tall are you?
What's that? 5'5". I'm a short little boy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. How tall are you, Teeks?
5'8".
Shit, yeah. Okay. You'll be looking up.
Not tall, but taller for a woman.
No, for me, I gotta look up for most people. That's fair. Kyle's a tall boy.
I'm 5'11".
Oh, really? I thought you were 6 foot.
I don't consider that tall, but yeah, I'm 5'11".
Everybody's tall to me, brother.
That's fair.
Everybody, that's been the Trophy Room this week. Boy, oh boy, what a great episode for me to come back to. Teagues, we're gonna miss you so much.
I don't want the episode to end.
I know.
Well, let's make it a point right now.
Yeah.
Tegan, you're invited back for the award show at the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
1
Sounds
million.
good.
Other promise, we need to see each other more often.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Teagues, before we go, is there anything to spotlight before you head on out of here?
You can find me over on Lightweight Gaming, where I do gaming videos. I am currently, as I said, doing Call of Duty, but I'm also just gonna be doing a few episodes of the new Life is Strange game. So you can check that out. And I do think it comes out on the 29th, but they sent out early access codes and we're able to release videos already.
Why?
And they sent me the code a week ago and I haven't played it yet because it's not out. And they emailed me today and they're like, so are you gonna be making a video on it? And I was like, oh. Yeah, I can put one out this week. And they're like, okay, just checking. And I'm like, wait, why are we releasing videos already?
Stop releasing video games I want to play. There's not enough time.
I found out there was a GameStop Steelbook that I didn't pre-order the game on time.
Oh, man.
so I
Aw.
missed out on it. But I'm sorry. Yeah, you
Or
doing Life is Strange?
Yeah, Life is Strange. I only played an hour of it, but I had a great time already. I'm already loving it. Or if you like movie reactions, you can find me over at Lightweight Reacting. I just reacted to Train to Busan, which I actually just got an email while we were live that it got copyright. So
Yay! It's always the
but
best.
lots of great movie reactions over there too. So you can follow me at either of those places.
Kyle, is there anything you'd like to spotlight before we get on out of here?
Mr. K Step everywhere. 6-1 indie for indie game stuff. I want to do another shout out to somebody I think could use some love from our community out there.
Yes.
I was unfortunate enough to not be on the episode where he was on and you got to interview him. But please go show your love to Abu Bakar Salim, creator of Tales of Kanzaro Zhao. One of the latest targets from all those hateful, bigoted human beings on social
Pieces
media.
of shit, yeah.
He does not deserve that. His game is incredible. The story behind the game is incredible. He's just an incredible human being. So please go show him some love. And yeah, just be kind to each other on the internet.
Before we go, though, I do have I do have requests. If you have
Please.
him back on the show, he's on my bucket list of people I like to talk to. So please, can I come back? And
absolutely.
also, if you can get some, if you actually can get some of the people from the game that we were talking about a couple weeks ago,
I got you.
Please let me be a part of that one too.
Believe me, it's in my plans of like
Just
when
let me come
I
back for
messaged
those.
Ben when it comes time to interview him and maybe Andy Serkis and Charlie Cox.
Yes.
I will. I am not above begging. I will beg. I will send you gifts.
I came to realize how tight Ben and Kyle have gotten. They have a legitimate friendship of which I am jealous of. So
listen,
that's cool.
There's not many people out there that love Final Fantasy VIII as much as me, and that is Ben. So
Yeah.
it's nice.
Teague, if I gotta be real with you, never have I ever thought Kyle was gonna leave the show to do it with Ben Starr more than like literally when we interviewed him, he's like, oh yeah, no, Kyle's like, I can't do this anymore. He's gonna start his own show with Ben. This is surreal. The broship is palpable.
Listen, if you guys replace me with Ben though permanently, I fisticuffs. Not allowed.
Fair enough. And yeah, you know what? Instead of all the jargon I usually do, send your love to Abu Bakar Salim because
Please.
literally my favorite episode I've ever done. He is literally one of the nicest people we've ever interviewed, and everybody's been terrific. He is such a amazing, beautiful soul. Just a wonderful human being, and to allow himself to get that raw and so vulnerable in front of so many folks and make something from the heart, wonderful, and doesn't deserve any of the vitriol and bigoted and targeted and evil comments that I've seen online, which is one of the reasons why I am not using X other than to promote the podcast. You can find me over at Blue Sky or Threads because, honest to goodness, the toxicity I think really just hit fever pitch with that. What I saw just disgusting. Language that, man, I truly is just vile. So first off, call to leave X. It sucks over there. Go join the amazing communities over at Blue Sky, Threads, our Discord, Tegan's Discord. We got to stop interacting with those types of people that are spreading hate and just evil folks. Instead, we need to reward the people like Teagues, like Abu Bakar, like Ben, that are spreading positivity, but also giving thoughtful critiques as well to the games field. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, listen, episode 400, next episode, again, the powers of the Trophy Room universe will change forever. I can't wait to this has been an episode a long time coming. I got a lot to share. It's going to be a real special show. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, keep your wits about you. Keep hunting. Keep playing PlayStation. See
Thank
you
you
at
all so
episode
much.
400.
I love you. we are officially